His figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow, in an everlasting state. The world I contemplate, fears just of the flesh, and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow, in an everlasting state. The world I contemplate, fears just of the flesh, and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. Darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate fears just of the flesh, and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity.
Have you do it?
With some details to be added.
I think we're good to go.
We introduced ourselves all together, but after a little chat from Sebastian to let us know what was going on about a load of murders that have happened up in Glasgow. We chatted with each other. We did a little bit of research, and let's see, we discovered things like, apart from the people that were murdered, that goes back about 10 months, we found out things like a disease broke out in the hospital. We wanted to find out when and things like that, and we want to know like who patient 0 is. We discovered the death of a young girl that died the same day that an Irish sloop arrived at the docks with 50 corpses in the actual hold of the ship. And it shouldn't have had that many people on it at all. It was only about a 30-foot craft. So should have only had about 6 sailors in, but 50 corpses were found inside. We've discovered that St. Mungo is a saint that's been buried in a church from the 13th century. He's got some sort of tube that keeps on secreting tears from his grave, and they're collected by someone that works the graveyards. We discovered that there's a Dr. Althea Margaret Montrose, and she's a librarian at the Mitchell Library, which is like one of the most substantial libraries that there are. And she's also a researcher of the mythos, one of us. We then decide to make our way there and get onto the train, and we arrive in Glasgow. And our first port of call is to go to Mr. Cadden's office at the corporation of Glasgow to sort out credentials and what have you. We meet Mr. Gibbs, who takes us to Mr. Catton's office, who tells us about the girl Lucy, which we'd already found out about, thanks to certain contacts that we have within and certain bits of research. He told us about the sloop with the 50 bodies inside. Again, that was no shock to us. But we also discovered that was a butchered dock worker who was the actual first death, which happened about 10 months ago. Since then, there's been about 18 murders and disappearances mixed. A DC McKagan is looking into one of the matters, and a DC Ross Harris is looking into another one of the matters. I believe one is the ship and one is the dead girl. We discovered that at the hospital, we're going to have to see a Dr. James Cullen regarding any kind of vaccination that we might need to protect us from the disease that broke out, because we discovered that he had in fact created one. We decide to then stash our belongings at a hotel where we get 3 rooms next to each other. Then head to see the dead bodies. That would be 3 of us, and then 2 of us decide to go elsewhere. Where did you 2 go? That would be. Oh no! Wait a minute. It was just. Yeah, that's right. It was just. It was only Irving. That's right. That went off on their own, and he went to head towards the docks to get his ear to the ground, because we know that sailors do a lot of talking and there's lots of gossip around in those areas. The other 4 of us decided to go to the hospital and let's take a look at all of these bodies. And we were hoping to find loads of bodies stored somewhere. But the thing is, they'd actually burnt the lot. They'd incinerated them because they can't have that many bodies lying around. Plus, there were loads of them. The only thing we have to look at is the girl's body by the name of Lucy, who was found. Let's see now. She was off Fir Park on Wishart Street. We speak to Dr. David McLean. Shows us to the morgue after a quick security check. We take a look at the body and we realise at the end of it, it's been cut up at first with a sharp knife to make the main first incision, and then something else has kind of rendered its flesh around the body until only the spine would hold the body together. Thaddeus suggested that there might be at least 2 assailants. And the poor girl we discovered was also pregnant, and the fetus was present. Along with all of her intestines and organs, we could see the only things that were missing were maybe bits of flesh that had fallen away in transit. I think, if I remember correctly, a round of drinks were bought in the docks by by Irving, and he might have caught a few snippets of conversation, which I'm sure he'll let us or remind us about in a few moments. Over to you now, Irving, with what you did gather.
So the local police force has been patrolling or beckoning off the sloop, but there is one man of the dock yards person that is in charge that also has a man patrolling or keeping guard himself. So there's 2 forces that could get you potentially inside and see the sloop, but Irvin wasn't planning to do anything of the sort at this evening. And with the mayor's help or writ, that we can possibly just walk to on appointment, seems more prudent and safer to do. But yeah, that's it. Nothing much happened on Irving's End. The docks were mostly desolate since all the murders, the plague, and something happened in general that which I don't remember. Basically, lowered the productivity or the amount of passages in and out of Glasgow.
Sorry, could you just repeat that last bit?
Well, something happened, but I can't remember. That's naturally diminished the amount of traffic or / cargo or fishery that's happening in Glasgow.
That would have been the First World War.
Oh, okay. No, that explains it.
Pre First World War, Glasgow was Britain's number 2 city, second to London.
Right.
Also, though, I think there's
It had a large shipbuilding industry which is depleted since the war's ended, leaving only 2 prominent shipyards in business in Glasgow out of a few hundred.
Wow.
Isn't there also a kind of sense of gloom over the city because of what's happened over the past 10 months? What with 18 people disappearing or dying, 50 people found on a boat, disease. There's quite a lot going on.
Yeah, a bit like modern day London at the moment.
Could I ask you, Yusef, for just like a timeline of what we know, like for sure, with the facts that we have, like the sloop arrived then, Lucy was killed then, disease appeared at this time.
Well, the salute, I can tell you, the salute
Okay.
and the girl was the same day, and that was only about 3 days before we arrived.
Two nights ago, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe 3 now because it's the next day, probably. But yeah, very recent.
2 nights prior to your arrival in Glasgow.
And the first murder was 10 months ago.
Months.
And that was the dock worker that was butchered. And then we haven't got an exact date for when the disease sparked off, and we don't have a patient 0, but we're going to see James Cullen tomorrow regarding that in the morning, probably after we pick up our papers from the corporation and then back to the hospital for him.
One thing that I wanted to add that wasn't recapped previously, you guys did see a corpse, and what one of you found out was basically that the wounds on it, the ones that actually killed the patient.
It was said, trust me.
Okay, I didn't hear it.
Very quickly, a sharp knife started the wound. A sharp knife started the wound, and then something else rendered the flesh all around the body until only the spine held the body together.
Okay. No, that's fine.
So where did we leave? What locations did we leave everyone at the end?
I think we were still maybe leaving the hospital or something like that. But I did want to ask you a quick thing, Yusef, is what age did the fetus look like? How many months?
Was the fetus there?
Yes, that's right. The fetus was there, and I'd like to gauge actually how old the fetus was.
I'll get back to you on that.
If there's a figure for it, then it'll mean something. If you don't have a figure for it, then it means nothing. But maybe I would like to find out who's the father. Who's the father? Is it the Lord of the Manor? Blah. You know, all of that.
You were all trying to figure out how to summon the ghost of the dead person.
No, that's for you.
We know.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
you do that voodoo that you do.
You were trying
so
to figure out where you want me to do it. You were trying to figure out where she actually died.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to find out where she died because she was killed somewhere else and then brought. We're going to have to wait. And remember, I arranged a decent burial. If nobody turns up, that she was to have a proper burial.
Was she going to be?
And that might be within the next few days. What was that, Neil?
I thought she was going to be cremated.
No, I know. I asked for a proper burial, whether it be cremated, but I didn't mind. But so long as there was a ceremony and a burial rite on consecrated ground, and they went, yeah, absolutely. If nobody claims her body to do that, then that's what we'll do. Because they would have just fucking chucked it into an incinerator and tossed her ashes anywhere. So that's arranged. At the very least, what we'll hear is we cremated her and we buried her with a ceremony at your behest, and this is where it was, and this is where you can visit the grave. At minimum.
With regards to Lucy's pregnancy, I don't believe that she was showing, because I don't think she was showing.
Okay.
Early pregnancy.
So that's like first semester, isn't it? Within 3 months.
If you say so.
Generally. Some people don't show until fucking 8 months, and then it pops out and it's a complete surprise. Some people show in like the first 2 months, and you can go, fucking hell, I can tell something's going on in your body. Depends on the person, the people, blah. And your genetics and all that, blah. But let's go average.
Hard
She
to
wasn't showing.
pinpoint
Let's
during
call it,
your
Sorry.
please.
hard to pinpoint the exact length of pregnancy during your investigation.
Well, that's okay, because
Yeah,
that gives us that tells us something in itself. Like if you said, oh, it looks about 8 months, you know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, that's close to the beginning of everything. Or if it's arbitrary, and she wasn't showing. But I'd still like to find out who the father was. Want to find out who the dad is.
How? Okay.
Well, don't forget, Kevin's character found out that great bit of information just by saying, oh yeah, have you heard of this person? Oh yeah, right. Oh, she was the maid. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's who we're going to be speaking to. Who did she know? Did she have a current boyfriend? We'd like to speak to him.
Did you find out any other information about Lucy?
About Lucy?
Yeah.
Her last name?
Siddons, yeah. Anything else that you found out?
Well, and that she worked for the Lord Blah. What's his name?
Arkwright.
Arkwright. That, as I said, sharp knife, rendered flesh, fetus. Did she have hard-working hands? Or were they well kept? So did it look like she did kitchen work, chambermaid stuff?
Don't know. You're not there now. You're not at the body now. So
I
you're
made an
asking for-
extreme. I made an extreme for my medical, and I'm just sort of like saying, surely I can remember some of those. I mean, I think we're still in the hospital. I might just go, oh, there is just one more thing, and do a full-on Columbo for you if you want.
Skin typical of a young girl in the maid service.
Okay. We'll find out later whether she was scullery or whatever. It probably doesn't matter.
So, locations of everyone at the end of the last session.
Well, if we're leaving the hospital, that still gives us a moment for either Tiff's character, Matt's character, or Neil's character to think of a last question before we leave. Failing that, we're going back to the hotel to sleep for the night and make sure that Irving got back home.
I can't think of anything from this end.
I'm good, and I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Also, we need to roll luck, unless everyone else has already done it.
You do.
I've done it.
I've already rolled.
6 is going to be a pass, so damn.
I rolled 10% myself.
Yeah, I succeeded.
I gained 8.
Getting a good roll out the way to begin with as well.
I gained 8 luck,
Yeah.
so we're good.
Tiff got a roll. Tiff got a
Well
roll.
done. Good job.
Gonna need it, girl. Gonna need it.
Mm.
Okay, so
Right.
you get back to your hotel. When are you heading back to the hotel?
Well, Irvin is probably already there at some point, like 10.
Okay, have at it, guys. You're all together in one place.
Well, I'll knock on the
Discuss.
door and make sure. Irvin, are you back?
Nice bit of lazy GM in there. I love it.
Well,
Do you mind if we all pile in and let you know what's going on at the hospital?
this is a single.
No, how could it be? How could they be on the same screen? But they were in separate screens before. Ah,
Helicopter. Helicopter.
She's
Fast boat.
breaking the streams right here. Yeah.
she can travel through the fourth wall.
Fast boat. Helicopter. Parachuted in.
Dear.
This is a
Yeah, the
small
room's
room,
got to be big enough to bloody walk in. It's not a cupboard.
No, it's not the
As
best
if
suite.
I said, "Oh my God, look, she's back." You're,
Yeah.
mind fuck.
Sound check.
Dear.
Just for all those viewers that have been mind fucked by that, they do live in the same house.
No, they don't.
I can also hear you no matter where I am in the house because of the Bluetooth. So.
Oh,
Tele-
wonders of modern technology.
I made my sound check.
So, yes, you're all back at the can't remember the name of the boarding
Weaver
house
or
you
something,
chose.
or weaving?
Wasn't it something? Oh, the Waverley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds about right.
It was the Waverley Hotel. Discreet and comfortable. Right.
Yes. Let's pile up in another room. This one is just for one person. I bet we can all fit in here. But yes, I'll report my findings.
I didn't realise your room was a cupboard. Oh
mean-
yeah, look at that. It's just a bed and just enough space to stand inside the room. Sorry about that.
No. It's what I prefer.
Come on into mine and Merlin's room.
Aye.
Let's just say that's in the middle. 'Cause
Aye, aye, lad.
I'm liking it, mate. I'm liking it. It's all good.
Yeah, keep it going.
This is just
And
me.
and in that room, we will catch up with all of the stuff that we, as people, know.
Okay, if you want to talk about anything in particular, go ahead. Do anything in particular, let me know. Otherwise, we can just fast forward to the morning. It's entirely up to you guys.
I think we can do that. There's not a lot we can do apart from sleep, and just pick it up in the morning where we get to the.
Come on, honey,
I'll
let's go
make
to
a
bed.
quick phone call. Sorry, what was that, Tiff?
I said, come on, honey, let's go to bed.
We'll
We'll
know
plan in
what
the morning.
time. We'll know what time in the morning that the corporation opens its offices, don't we?
The provost's office.
Yeah, it's about 9 o'clock that we were
Yeah.
going to get back there.
Yeah.
So that's what we're aiming for, to get to do that in the morning.
You go to Hugh Cadden's office, the provost, Lord
Yeah.
Provost's office.
And then we're all going to go to the hospital and force Dr. James Cullen to give us a vaccination.
Not really.
And then make decisions from there.
That's fine.
Are you all going to the provost's office?
For what reason? To get ID.
Yeah, we need our ID and paperwork.
Right.
A writ of passage and ability to command our lessers. But yeah.
Oh, lessers, eh? Interesting turn of phrase.
Okay,
Oh, well. Don't worry about it.
so you get to the city chambers. Gibbs meets you downstairs. Hands over the relevant paperwork for you that acknowledges you as agents of the Lord Provost's office.
Hand it out.
And the reader of this letter is to aids the holder of this letter in accordance with the laws of Glasgow City, blah, blah, blah.
Does this make us above the law in a way?
No. No.
Okay.
You look at the fine print, it goes, this does not entitle the bearer of this letter to break laws as written in the
He did
Constitution
say
of Scotland.
within the laws of the of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
It didn't say 007 license to kill.
But I have a law of 65, so if there was like a loophole, perhaps I'd see it.
No, if anything, it's more like the way I'm interpreting it. It's kind of a letter of comfort. It's come to say, "Hey, we're working on behalf of this group. Here, I have a signed letter to show for it.
Don't
We have
worry.
a degree of modicum of their authority if we need it, but you're going to have to call upon them if you really want to push your luck."
Verify. Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
Yeah. Fair dues.
And you head off the infirmary.
To the hospital, yes, for our to see Dr. James Cullen.
Mark, I forget, what was Robert's profession?
Oh, he was in the war as a medic.
Medic. That's why he'd be so eager to have these vaccinations. Yeah, get it.
And go to the hospital and see the dead
Mhm.
bodies, etc.
Glasgow, are you?
Got to lean on your strengths.
Why I? Why I not?
No, I'm not Geordie.
No, I'm joking.
If you want a sound that's a kind of
Brummy? You want me to sound
you
brummy?
no, don't go brummy. Go ah
Oh.
ah. That's right.
Oh.
That's the sound of a Wolverhampton vowel.
Which
Ah.
one?
It's an affirmation. If you say something, I'll agree with you by going ah
Well,
Oh, okay. Like I.
when you're ready, I've got a
ah.
little handout, in-game handouts, a little localized map of the infirmary, St Mungo's, and the necropolis to give you an idea of where they are in relation to each other. So the Royal Infirmary is 5 buildings connected by walkways and tunnels. 6 stories high. The central building is one of the tallest in Glasgow. And off the main central building, the other 4 blocks contain labs, nurses' residence, morgue, electricity generator.
In those 5 buildings, which one will it have been that the disease broke out in?
Or first noticed.
Because I was under the impression it got out and it was in the city.
I thought they quarantined everywhere where it was happening.
Well, that's what we found out afterwards, but I was sure we were led to believe that it was
I
broke
think
out into the
it
hospital.
broke out from the infirmary.
Okay.
It started in the infirmary.
So in the main building.
Oh, wait a minute. That is the whole building. It's called the infirmary.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mean like the A&E or something? You mean? I mean, the thing is, if it isn't important, then that says something.
Well, at the moment, you don't know that knowledge, so.
Sure, something that we'll find out from Cullen, because we haven't got who patient 0 is for a start either.
It's the necropolis where that drippy dude is that people collect the.
No,
Yes.
that's at St Mungo's.
Okay.
Oh, it's actually within the cathedral grounds, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
thought I also thought it was in the necropolis where
No.
the graveyard was.
The
Right,
Tears of
okay.
St Mungo's is in the cathedral. It's like a religious sort of.
So is it actually
pilgrim
inside?
site.
Is it inside the cathedral or on the site of the cathedral?
Inside.
Yeah, right. So it's one of those like proper tombs. Proper tomb inside a church.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, unless I say otherwise, it's that constant drizzle and overcast, oppressive weather that we're getting in Glasgow.
Don't take it personally, any Glaswegians watching or anyone in Scotland. Please don't take it personally. You just know it's drizzle all the time.
It's reality.
It's reality. You know we know. You know we know you know.
So you're led down. You're led down to Cullen's office, which is in the basement of the infirmary.
Do we get escorted there?
Yeah, you do. You get escorted there by an orderly. taken down to the basement of the infirmary. Beneath the hospital chapel. The walls are of a drab off-white, the furniture plain. Excuse, and 4 ceiling-mounted lamps light everything in the room in a sickly yellow-white glow. Desk and matching chair, 2 tall bookcases, 4 chairs, and 2 small tables are within the office. Looking around, it's obvious that Cullen spends little time in this office. The desktop is spotless, and there's a layer of thin dust that covers the bookcases and tables. As you come in, as the orderly opens the door, Dr. Cullen gets up, or looks up from his table.
Morning.
Aye, come in. What can I do for you?
We don't know if you've been told about our arrival, but
Yeah, yes, something about business with the provost's office.
that's
Aye.
right. Well, let me show you this letter that'll just clear up our authority and where it stands.
He takes it out of your hand, looks at it, goes, aye. Well, what can I do for you?
Well, first and foremost, we've got a request for getting a vaccination regarding the disease that broke out.
There is no vaccination for it.
But I was under the assumption that you found some sort of cure.
I'm working on one. That's why I'm so busy, you see.
All right, but you haven't found one yet.
This man, as you're talking to him, you know, the light sort of reveals what he looks like. He's average height, thin, greasy black hair, pockmarked skin, a bit like my character in Matt's game last week. Squinting, close-set eyes. Pretty much it.
This is the second time we've been told there isn't a vaccine, but we were told initially there was. Can I try psychology on this guy to see whether he's been deceitful about anything here? Because something doesn't add up.
Who told you that there was a vaccine?
I know it was one of the first pieces of information that we got about the fact there was some kind of outbreak in the infirmary, but this fella that we'd been given the name of, let's see if I've got it in my notes. Here we go. Dr. Cullen at the infirmary devised the inoculation to combat the mystery disease.
I was under that impression too.
Aye.
Yeah. So, but so we've got that, but then everyone else has denied this. So I'm wondering if we're deliberately being misled, or alternatively, whether it was a cock-up. I don't know.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's see.
Yeah, do that psych roll, man.
Yeah, make the psych roll anyway.
Okay. 48 is a regular success.
Great stuff.
What did you say, Kevin? Did you do a psychology roll as well?
As everyone's talking,
For some reason.
As everyone's talking, Irvin asks, while after everyone's done talking, like, so what are the symptoms of this disease anyway?
You're asking Cullen that.
Yes, after after he has denied like there being any vaccine while everyone's making.
Can we deal with this psychology roll?
Yeah. We're just slightly jumping ahead of ourselves there. No one's lying to you about the inoculation. It might have been a cock up by me. But he says, no, I'm working on finalizing the inoculation. It's not. We devised a temporary one, and then but there isn't one. There isn't an actual vaccination that people can come and get to protect them from the disease. Not yet.
Right. Okay. I've got another question. Could you tell me precisely when you realised it had broken out? What the date was? How long ago that was?
Aye. I'll tell you what I know.
Boyo.
Well, it took everyone by surprise, you see. None of us in the infirmary knew where to look. This is often the case with something undiagnosed like this. It was a horrible shock. It struck at random, killing doctors, nurses, patients of both sexes, all ages and all walks of life. Many of my closest colleagues died in that first outbreak. There were 5 of us in the anatomy department before the outbreak. Now we are only 3. I believe you've already met my associates, Doctors McLean and Burden. The hospital was gripped with fear, you see. No one knew what had happened. The dead were everywhere, but the nurses and orderlies were afraid to approach the bodies and were covered in pustules, their necks swollen and their skin a jaundiced yellow. Most of my colleagues and the clinicians at the infirmary are family men. I am not. When the time came for someone to step forward, I felt I was the right choice. I wouldn't be leaving anyone behind, as it were. So I commandeered 3 of the 4 labs in the basement here and quarantined the lot. I am now trying to isolate these and the factors that contribute to its spread. I'm believing it is transmitted by the air. It affects the liver, possible poisoning the victim's blood. But that is all I have found out at the moment. I'm waiting further results from tests.
Do you have a date?
But suffice it to say, it is gruesome work. Gruesome work.
And do you have a date?
A date of the first
outbreak.
The outbreak.
Yeah. Was it within the last 10 months?
There's no pause. I believe it was 10 months ago. Let me just double check.
What, like, you know?
If you've a good note takers, you would have had this information already.
No, we didn't. We got that the first bloke was butchered at the docks, a dock worker, the first death. That was 10 months ago. And you said months ago regarding the disease breaking out. I'm sure you didn't give us how many months. There's 2 things there with the same date at the beginning. If that is the case, 10 months ago. 10 months ago, you say? It's the same day that the dock worker got butchered.
No, not 10 months. So sorry, before I have to interject. The disease a month ago has taken root in other areas. First exposure left 100 people dead. See Dr. Cullen at the Royal Infirmary. That's what my notes are saying.
So only a month?
Yes. But yeah, I think so.
A month, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. A month. Yeah.
1 month ago, not 10.
1 month ago. The murders were 10.
Do you still have patient 0? If you know what that means.
I'm not going to waste time searching the fact that the phrase patient 0 may or may not exist in the 20s.
Yeah.
But he does know what you mean regardless.
Who's your first patient? Who died of it first?
Well, in the initial panic, I think most of all the corpses were incinerated.
Right. So you keep logs though, right?
Of sorts.
Of the bodies you incinerate, you have some.
Oh, there's records. Records of all the deceased would be available. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And this disease was completely localized within the hospital. It never got out. Is that right? Just to confirm.
Well, no, because within a week, there were cases found in the city slums and the prison.
What?
So yes, the prison and the slums are other areas that have been affected, that were affected since the initial outbreak. But
Right.
and as a result, I've been working night and day to find a cure.
But what about those areas that you say it did break out in? Are they being quarantined? Are people still dying there? Can you tell us exactly where they are so we know where to stay away from?
Well, it's the slums and the prison. There's no one really important there to warrant a full quarantine. I mean, there have been, I believe the authorities have taken the necessary steps to stop people from going to these places, but it's the infirmary anyway. So it's the prison. So maybe visitors' rights have been stopped for a while, and the slums. Well, who visits the slums apart from the less fortunate of us? To be honest, I don't know what's happening out there. I'm concentrating all my efforts here with my research and work.
Dr. Collins, there were also rumors that bulls were sighted at the outskirts of the town. Is there any chance that there's like a disease being spread to the slums that are on the outside of the town, maybe inwards?
Back.
I think a few wolves were sighted inside of the city. Maybe some were attacked. I haven't had a word of that, but maybe rabies is going around. I would have no idea if rabies would do anything to your liver, but
No, it isn't the rabies, my friend. Wolves, I don't know anything about wolves. Is it still raining out there?
Maybe the logbook of the people you have you deal with here. Does it have cause of death written on it? Perhaps abnormalities of the body. I mean, can we look at these records just out of interest?
Yes, but I'm not the keeper of the records. You'll have to ask the administration staff in the infirmary.
Right.
I'm sure you can find all the information there.
I'm gonna hop
Have you
off there.
have
I'll
you
go
ruled
there.
out have you ruled out things like the pox or the Black Death?
If he had glasses, he looks over the top edge of them at you sternly, and he goes,
When you
"I'm a
mentioned
professional young man. Of
great,
course, I've ruled out all the obvious things."
great, and you said so. The symptoms. What are the early symptoms, and how do they develop? What was it you were saying? Something about pustules.
Aye, the neck swollen, skin jaundiced yellow, and boils, pustules.
Thank you.
Yes, I can see why someone of layman's knowledge would ask that question.
Yeah, not so layman. I was a medic in the army, sir. I've got a fairly reasonable idea of the way body works, but I had to ask those simple questions, didn't I? And you say it's airborne, which makes it extremely dangerous.
His sharp black eyes just stare coldly at you.
I stare back. Did you have something to add, sir?
A wry smile comes across his face. He goes, "No, do you?"
No.
Well, if that's all then, gentlemen, madam, I'd like to get back to my work.
Yes, of course, Doctor. Are we all good? Yeah, I'll start making my way towards the door. I'll pause and wait for people to either follow or say something.
Yeah, before we go, I think last night my colleagues asked if we will be updated for possible like burials of a certain Miss Collins, not Collins, Simmons. Siddons, yes. Seeing that the tragedy with the unborn child, we were invested enough to want to see that she was buried somewhere safely and notified when she and where she is buried.
You know that the body hasn't been buried. 'cause you
Yes,
saw
yes,
it
but
last night.
wait, but we also like gave an, like a request to inform us when it is, instead of her being like burnt and then thrown in the wind, so that we can't like seance it.
Okay.
I thought I'd already done that.
He
Sorry.
gives you a piercing
No, we
glance and he
have,
goes,
but maybe Yusuf has forgotten. That's
do I look like a mortician, boy?
I was waiting for that.
he doesn't answer. Just gives a sly grin and say, "Aren't we all?" And then walks out of the door.
Have a combined psychology spot hidden from you, Irvin. And I'm not going to say, yeah, and the other three as well. If yeah, why not?
Like spot hidden.
Combined, so that's one right,
Okay.
one dice roll. in case that
Regular
lands.
on the spot hidden and failure on psychology.
11. Which
That
is
part-
sorry, hang on. Hold on. I'll tell you what
Failure.
it is. It's a hard.
Damn.
Matt
But 11
failed
sounds
both.
good. Yeah, 11 sounds good though.
2 hards, Yusuf.
Okay, spot hiddens. 2 spot hiddens, 1 psychology. Nothing from Tiff. No, Tiffany, Elizabeth.
No, that failed on
Yeah.
both.
No. Okay. So you notice a wry smile cross his lips with the spot hidden, and with the psychology.
Is he holding back on us?
With the smile is like a tick, like a twitch
Ooh,
that might
guys.
that might say that this guy isn't completely there.
Oh, zero
That
sanity.
it's no, he hasn't got the zero sanity look.
Okay.
He's definitely
Touched. As the
yeah.
Irish might say.
Do we think
Yeah.
Mythos touched? He's come across
Not
something.
necessarily. You want to make it? Do you want to spend some luck on extreme?
Oh,
Touched.
actually, I can. Hold on. Spot hidden 10 for an extreme and 8 for psychology. So do I have to bring them both down to an 8? Which is easy because I only need 3
Just
points.
the psychology. Yeah, well, it's
So-
one
right.
roll, so yeah.
Yeah, done it. Yeah, 3 points of luck for that. That's no problem.
Not so much that he's insane or Mythos touched, just the fact that his sanity's dubious. That's that goes without saying. But you think that he's responded to all your questions in a very carefully measured way. And finishing off the meeting with that wry smile that he had and the twitch
Almost like he's got away with something. Like he's got away with not saying something, or thinks us
More
fools.
likely that he knows more than he's let on. There's something off about him for sure.
What was his last name again?
Cullen.
Oh, it wasn't West. Okay.
No, the two people that are assisting him. You said there's two people. One of them,
the other two doctors. Yeah.
yeah,
They're
Dr.
not here.
McLean.
They're not present.
Yeah, one's Dr. David McLean, and the other one was who?
Kenneth Burden.
Right. I'm gonna. Right, when we get away out and out the room, I'm gonna say to the guys, tell them what I kind of observed in his behaviour, which I thought was a bit odd. So I'm just like to maybe have a quick word with his the people who've helped him to see if his behaviour's changed and in what way.
Okay, so you're going to go off and look for the other two doctors.
Yeah, I'll only be about 5 minutes. If people want to come with me, though, I mean, let's all go together.
I'm not there.
I'm certainly not adverse to the party, but I'd rather we all keep together because at least then all the information passes to us easier.
All right, let me just deal with Merlin. You're going to admin.
Just before all that happened, I slipped. I said, right, I'm off, and I went straight to admin, fast as pos. No mucking about.
Okay, what do you want to do when you get there?
I get there and I say, oh, listen, is it a man or woman?
Woman.
Woman. So yeah, I'd like to have access to the logbook of the bodies here at the infirmary around, and I give the date the doctor gave us that the first outbreak was. I say like the week before and the week after the first. This date, please.
All right, we'll make a social skill check of your choice.
What am I good at? Persuade, intimidate, charm. So I get out my slip to say who I am.
Okay, your bonus. You get out your bonus dice.
Yeah, and to persuade her, look, this is where I'm working from. You must know this name, this gentleman, da da da. I get a hard persuade. I'm not going to use my bonus dice.
Okay. Aye, sir. I can get that information for you, but it'll be straight away.
I'm prepared to wait.
It'll probably take a couple of hours.
Hours.
Aye, we're a bit short-staffed at the moment, don't you know?
I could come and help you.
Do you have any medical experience?
Any what? Sorry?
Medical experience. That's what we're short-staffed in.
No. I'm looking for books with information. I'm not here to do surgery, dear.
Aye, well, like I said, I can. There'll be no problem fetching them for you. It'll just take a wee few hours.
Okay, I'll come back in a few hours then.
I can have them sent to your office or wherever you wish.
Yeah.
It's not necessary for you to wait if you don't want to.
Well, if I'm not here, send them, and I give her an address to send them to. I think where we're staying. Is it a hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, lovely. Thank you.
Jolly good, sir.
If I'm still around, I'll come back in a few hours. But thanks for your help.
Okay.
And I piss off to the group.
Which are now going to the other doctors. Okay. Yeah, you find them. Luckily, on their no. Luckily, you find them on their tea break, so they're both together. Unless you want to find them, get them separately.
Oh, I'd like to find them separately.
Yeah. Trust you. Yeah. Okay. Give us a group luck roll, not including Neil.
I'm on 64.
75.
78.
Ooh.
Tiff,
Tiff's like
what's your look?
89.
78.
Oh, so it's
So,
me.
Yeah.
It is you.
Nice.
Okay, roll under a 64. Oh, fuck you. 90 fucking 7.
So
Jeez.
that's a fail. Okay. You isolate Dr. Kenneth Burden.
Oh, cool.
And that was a fail. Interesting.
Yeah, can't get to both of them. Start. So we've been talking to. Good afternoon, Dr. Burgeon. We've discovered that you've been helping Dr. Cullen with all of his research regarding this awful disease that broke out, and I'm very sorry for the loss of all your friends that's happened over the past month or so here. But I've got a few questions, if you wouldn't mind answering them for me.
Well, I'll try my best.
Thanks. We're here on behalf of the Corporation of Glasgow. If you just quickly peruse that, just to put you at your ease. And I take it away without finishing without stopping in sentence. And while we were chatting with Dr. Cullen, I was kind of led in my own mind to think that maybe something's happened to him recently, where maybe his behaviour might have changed. Have you worked with him for a long time?
He sort of, he looked a little bit concerned at first, but then when you finish your question, he's sort of like, oh no, he's always like that. Yeah, he's a bit of a nut, that one.
Is he
But
now
he's
a bit of a nutter? Is
well,
that a medical term? Is it, Doctor?
no, not at all.
Well,
No, he's
joking apart,
always been like that. He's always been strange.
well, a little bit twitchy and a little bit secretive. I say it like in conversation as though he can just agree with me. A little bit twitchy, a little bit secretive.
Yeah, I he's these geniuses, they always they gain in the intellect, they lose in other ways, if you know what I mean.
Their social skills, perhaps. But it's an
Oh,
interesting you work.
he has nice social skills.
So you definitely you totally just said that you called him out as being a genius. You say,
Oh, of course, yeah, indeed, yes.
could you give me some examples of that kind of geniusness that he has, if he's able to, of course, Yusuf. I mean, you know. Is it the way he's quickly sort of got onto the problems of the disease, or what's he done in the past, or is he noted for something in particular? Is he friends with Dr. Althea Margaret Montrose by any chance?
He doesn't know who that is.
Great, that's good.
Well, some would call him an idealist. And brilliant with a brilliant mind. And he is, in my opinion, he is a genius. But a lot of his theories can be a little bit controversial. But I suppose that's all I really know. He refuses help when asked, when help is offered.
Right, but recently,
Recently he's just been working night and day on the cure.
and have you not been helping him with that?
Well, we've offered to help him work on he always refuses us and
Right.
spends most of his time locked away in the quarantine labs.
Right. And how long have you known him? How long have you actually worked with him for?
Oh, several years in the same infirmary here.
Right. Cha.
They're younger doctors than Cullen is. Cullen, did I say how old he was?
You didn't actually know. What did he come across
Oh,
as?
38.
45? Oh, okay. Not that old. 38-ish. And these lads are like, what, late 20s?
yeah, they're like junior doctors, kind of.
I feel so stupid for asking this question, Yusef, but like, would most of the bodies that we know about have come through this infirmary at one point, or like
We were kind of led to believe that they were, because it's
Yeah, I
the
don't.
only
Yeah,
hospital.
yeah, they would have done.
So everything's recorded, basically, you're after, isn't it?
yeah. So if there were all the dates of significance that we know, I would have also asked for those the information on the bodies that were here
Yeah.
at those times.
Time of death, cause of death.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know,
whatever's on there.
a coroner's report.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
Cool. Because we'll get a timeline out of that, won't we, Neil?
I hope so we get something at least.
Definitely.
Sorry for interrupting, Dr. Kenneth. Did you say that in what workspace did he do his research / into this occultation?
The quarantine laboratories.
Okay. Does he get? Does everybody that died to the disease go through this laboratory?
Well, blood samples and
Oh, okay.
not the actual bodies themselves. No.
How many of these quarantine labs do you have in this infirmary / hospital?
Fucking hell, you bloody questions.
And I'm like giving like the army doctor in our midst. In this case, that's shit. You should update your Discord name so that I can remember it.
Robert.
Oh, it's Robert. Okay, Robert, like, and I like go Snoop if you still don't trust. Like, okay, I'm not saying it. I'm just giving you an eye. Like go search for that.
Oh well, the labs are in the basement of the infirmary.
Okay.
And you've just come from the basement. That's where Cullen's office is as well. So they're obviously on the same floor as Cullen's office, somewhere that you haven't actually been to yet.
Does
but you've got they're in the base. They're in the basement, and because of that information, you know that you know where it is because you've been to the office, which is also in the basement.
Does Collins ever leave the hospital? I know he's incentivized to hurry up and get a cure for this disease, but does he take a break? Is there like an on-call room where he can sleep?
He spends most of his time down there. He's very dedicated to his work, you see. He works day and night.
He reminds me of Herbert West, if you know that.
Because he's a doctor and it's a Cthulhu setting.
Yeah, and there's a disease and I don't know. Something fishy.
We shall see, shall we?
Yeah.
I've not heard of this Dr. West, so
Oh, I'm not here.
Is he from Glasgow? Did he used to work there? Anyway,
That's all I needed to know. Thank you. And then steps back.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no problem at all. He says, sort of, a lot of the Scots who we're meeting at the moment are Irish descent.
That's worries. No worries, mate. I like it. I like it.
The accent.
And could you tell us? Do you know the whereabouts of Dr. McLean?
Oh, he should be in Ward 2A, down the corridor on the right.
All right. Okay. I'll stand outside waiting for the others.
I arrive.
As everybody gets out the office, what do people think about that? I mean, if he's been a bit weird and he's just one of those strange geniuses, he's definitely holding something back, isn't he?
People are out to be eccentric, but doesn't help an investigation much.
Doesn't.
Yeah, might be a dead end.
Well,
Or
we got 50 of those on the boat.
Funny, yes.
my kind of humor. But no, the guy clearly has something to hide. Dr. Kenneth just said that he refused any kind of help, even though there's a disease striking Glasgow to the grave at the moment. I can't. I mean, for currently purposes, I can see it, but if you only have like 3 doctors, you need more than that. Why deny any kind of help that you can get? No, I think something else is going on, but I don't think.
To be fair, he did mention that he refused to help in the labs
Yes.
from other members of staff. Not
Oh yeah,
in
but
general.
administrative, that's okay then. Yeah, but at that point, even a clerk could do it.
I'm a little more bothered that the disease then arrived at the prison and in the slums, and the way he's.
Maybe one of the doctors.
Sorry, I have.
Sorry, I was going to answer what you said. Maybe one of the doctors works there on the sly. I mean, the prisons need doctors, don't they?
Right. Okay. So what I'm coming to is it's broken out in the slums and in the prison, and I don't know if you heard it in his attitude about the people that reside in the slums, like you know.
He couldn't care.
His attitude were like they were rats. And I doubt that there'd be any kind of. I'm wondering. I've got some very nefarious thoughts about this bloke.
It does seem quite anti-conducive to someone who's sworn the Hippocratic Oath that's supposed to care about people, regardless of their social status.
Good point, Thaddeus. Good point.
Maybe we could get the exact place that it started first. Was it in the hospital? How soon after? We really need to know because.
Well, I have ordered the documents for that, the post-mortems on all the people that were here during that time, the outbreak, the week before and after, and also of any other bodies from the sloop that came in and other.
Here's what my mind's doing at the moment. It's thinking to myself, I hope this bloke hasn't come up with something and he's testing it out.
Well, you know what they do test chemicals
and
on rats.
And he's then accidentally brought it back and contaminated the hospital.
Well, he's not been contaminated, has he? So he's
But that's
careful.
Yeah, but you know, if he's created it, he's not going to catch it, is he? He's probably already masked up and he's already wearing gloves. I'm just a bit suspicious about it. Because if his behaviour hasn't changed, then he's always like that.
Well, without evidence, it's merely conjecture, old chap.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is what's going on in my head at the moment. I don't trust that Dr. Cullen at all.
Okay.
I think he's a little bit more than a deranged genius. No, I think that's what he is. I think he's a deranged genius. Sorry, no, it's just me head.
Robert, what do you propose, old chap? If anything.
I don't know, mate. Maybe just moving forward with that in mind.
You're going to talk to the other doctor now?
I don't think we'll get much more out of him, but maybe.
Depends what questions you ask.
Mm. Well, has anybody got any questions for this other doctor? And I looked at the whole group.
I'd like to. But to maybe get the best out of it, I'd rather go on my own
Okay.
to have a word.
I would like to, while you do that, I would like to risk going to the slums and see how widespread it is. If the rumors of those wolves might have anything to do with it, because I still think maybe something was brought from the outside inwards into the city.
All right, Irving, but don't touch anything and make sure you wear some kind of mask over your face. You know, just tie a bandana around your
There's a
mouth.
mandate.
And bandana of contempt.
Just to be safe. If it's airborne. I'm sorry, what you laughing about?
No, just a joke. She said starkly, and the joke was, yeah, bandana of contempt, maybe. Yeah, and yeah, sure, he placates in a jovial manner, but thinks differently in his head.
Placate? I mean, it's up to you, mate. You know.
I'm not saying the last few words to you. Oh, okay, I'm just narrating.
No, I
what's
know,
going
but
on.
I'll make a psychology roll, and I can see that you were just patronising me.
Okay, well, I would like a counter roll.
Damn it, I failed.
Oh, I don't know the.
All right, mate, be careful.
Yeah.
Sit out a bit.
Okay, you going anywhere specific in the slums?
The few pubs. Ask people for information or rumors about these wolves and where they were apparently sighted, and then go door to door in those slums looking for people that are still home or like unable to work, disabled or something that might have because of their inaction noticed them passing through during the night or during the day or whatever.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you in a second.
I can't hear you. Wait a moment. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll come back to you in a sec. So you're off to the
Slums.
slums.
Yeah.
And I'm a little overly aware that I'm like gobby and
Anyway, specific point
not giving anybody else a
sorry,
chance.
Mark.
So
Any specific POI point of interest on the map in relation to the slums that you want to go to?
Where's the? Let's see. In-game handouts. Which side is the slums, though?
You'd probably be more harder push looking for wealthy areas.
Okay.
have a look.
Areas.
Have a look on the map where it looks most tightly packed. And I'll
That's near
guarantee you
the
they're the
train
slums.
station.
We've got a massive map somewhere, haven't we? There we go. Right, you see that where it says? Oh, I can't really see.
Everywhere is pretty slummy, but anyway, have a look at the map and tell me if there's a specific area that you want to go to.
North.
You see
northwest.
Mark.
Yeah.
While Kevin's doing that, you're going to
Look at Bath Street.
speak to the doctor on your own.
Yeah, just briefly. Yeah.
Okay, Rob. So, what's his name? Burden or
Urgent? Did you say?
I think that's the one we spoke
is it
to.
Bergen.
Oh,
it's McLean I'm looking for.
McLean, Dr. McLean.
Paste.
Thaddeus and Elizabeth. Are you going anywhere specific?
I'm with them.
Unless the wife's got any ideas, but I'm mainly just soaking up everything else that everyone else is getting and trying to percolate it through in my head to come up with something at the minute.
Okay.
I'm just hanging out with my husband, looking pretty.
I'll turn to the couple and I'll say, Elizabeth, this is a place of the dead. Do you feel at home here? Is this the kind of place you would view as fun?
In the right circumstances, yeah. Thaddeus and I would be exploring and checking it out. Do we want to go for any archives or anything?
I've ordered some actually to be
But
sent to our hotel.
Do we really trust him to do that job?
Well, I did try and get involved with the look, but the search rather, but she wouldn't let me. I mean, you could try and charm her and have a go yourself.
I'm going to say that the admin woman at the desk comes back. She's got like a huge pile of that she plonks on the desk, and she sort of gets your attention.
Oh, look.
Oh, that's the woman. Yeah, yeah, that's her.
We could always take that back to the hotel and go through it.
Oh no, you won't be able to take them off the premises.
Oh, fine.
Oh,
A room,
Miss.
perhaps?
Yeah, why not? It
Come on,
takes you
Thaddeus.
to a room that's got the fresh smell of disinfectant.
Otherwise, what's the point? She brings out all these. See, look, there they are. Bye.
Yeah, come on, Thaddeus. We got some digging to do.
Yes, miss.
So there's plenty for all three of you to sift through.
And I take it they're sectioned off. So one pile of books is about the 50 on the sloop. One pile of books is about the week before and after the outbreak.
There's nothing. There's nothing on the sloop.
There's
Matt,
nothing.
there's nothing on the sloop here.
So aside from the week before and after the outbreak, are there any documents that she brought about any of the other victims that we are knowledgeable about?
You're going to need to make library use rolls.
Well, okay, so they're not ordered shit. Okay.
Grab a pile,
All of us.
Thaddeus.
All of us, yeah, the three. Bada boom.
I'm about as useful as a chocolate fire guard at the minute. That's a failure from me.
But quite tasty. I'll
And messy.
Yeah.
I'm messy, yeah. I got a hard.
All right, what are we rolling? I completely missed
Li-
that.
library
Library.
use.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah. Extreme success.
Oh,
That's an 8 out of 45, so definitely.
nice.
Sorry, what kind of success?
Extreme.
Extreme. Okay.
Baby.
I'll just show them up by going through everything very carefully.
Yeah.
How long
I
will it
thought I
take
was-
them? All this, because I'm not planning to be very long.
Well, I'm just we're just indexing them at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not like indexing
And
a lot of
Elizabeth's just gone,
papers.
"Look,
Sounds
look."
like a good amount of time, and I don't intend to spend a long
No,
time.
Elizabeth was just looked at it instantly and was like, they should be there, they should be there. With our extreme.
Distracted by a copy of the Beano in the back.
The Beano. First edition, number 1.
Yeah. Thaddeus is just looking at the funny pages.
Just
The
whack
funnies.
Thaddeus in the back of the head. Come on.
But Desperate
not-
Dan got a meat pie.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Look, I've already sorted everything for us. Let's go.
It's a big cow pie.
Yeah.
With the
cow
horns
pie,
just sticking out the top.
yeah. Manly. That's very manly.
Do
But
I remember
moving
him
on.
doing with barbed wire?
Oh, that's so bad.
All right, let me just deal with these guys, Mark, and then I'll come to you shortly.
I remember him combing his hair with things like barbed wire and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Desperate Dan.
Yeah. Oh,
Hard as nails.
Indeed he was.
Things I never read.
Did they have that in America? Desperate Dan.
No.
It's just
And
a
the
British
other thing about him is that he was a sweetheart. He was. He
What
had
do
a
you
really
mean by
big
that?
heart. He
Oh,
had a
okay,
really
okay.
big heart. He was a sweetheart. He was a big, gentle giant.
I was
Well,
going to
yeah.
say a big guy. He had to have a big heart, otherwise he wouldn't be able to be
Yeah.
alive for that long.
Size of an elephant.
Be laying down all the time.
Yeah, if he bends down to sort of drink water, blood pressure goes to his head.
Well, if he stands up, all the blood rushes from his brain.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm thinking about the giraffe.
Oh,
the record. There's no records of the sloop or any of the victims on the sloop here. All the records are of people that have died in the last 10 months, like you asked. There's not much else you can discover these records. You
Absolutely
just
useless.
you get all like the dates and the times, but it's not 100% precise because it all happened so fast and in such a quantity. Like a lot of deaths happened at the same time. In the end, it starts off with all good intentions, and in the end, it's got like, oh, and there's another one, so and so from so and so,
yeah.
and the
Well,
details aren't great.
right. That's fine. The ones around the time, I will make a note of in my notebook, the names, and such. Just
So,
names of people.
so the first,
Like the week before the outbreak.
the first
to the
killing
outbreak.
was a dock worker.
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
Was found killed outside the Clydesdale warehouse. A Clydeside warehouse.
On the map.
Body butchered, animal attack apparently.
Name? Or
Jock
John
Scott.
Doe.
Bob.
Jock Scott. Jock Scott.
Jock Scott. That's a made up. You just made that up.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Jock Scott.
Does the paper's work say that he was killed there on that spot?
Body found.
Or is it another? Yeah, is it another
Body had been
found?
butchered. The police suggested some kind of animal inflicted.
Could they determine that he died there though?
That's not in the record.
That might be in the police records, mightn't it?
The next one was 2 weeks later in Govan, the south side of the river near the Govan subway stop. Same brutality as the first murder, but the body had been dragged outside through a secured door, suggesting that it wasn't a. And the rest are just like, they all seem to be random. There's no discrimination on age, sex, social standing.
Now the Govan one has some potential, boys, because if we know he's been dragged to a security door, we might have a better idea where he died. We could even do a seance in that location.
Do we have the address?
Most of the descriptions of what's happened to the bodies during their death, they're mauled, butchered, limbs missing, organs missing. Some were decapitated, some were disemboweled, and of course, the latest, Lucy, was pregnant.
But the one in Govan, do we have the house address?
Yeah, why not?
Very handy. Circumvent the cops. Great.
these are all unrelated to disease.
Mm.
So that was the last. So that was over the last 10 months. Over the last, just over a month ago, people started dying of this disease.
There must be a point where like they start recording it as disease. So who was the first name?
You've got a name, but the body's been incinerated. So
Yeah,
sort
no,
of,
I just
yeah.
want a name.
And where?
Scott Jock.
Alice Scotswoman.
All right, forget those leads. They matter nothing.
What about where? That first person, where?
At the infirmary.
Yeah, it's useless information. Well, that bit is.
Had she come from abroad? Had she been anywhere tropical?
Did she have bites on her?
She was admitted for ingrowing toenails.
Hmm. So he's testing this disease on these people, right?
I've had ingrown toenails before. They're not pretty.
I bet.
You don't
But
have
they hurt a
toenails
bit.
anymore for that reason.
Well, it's only on 2 toes, but yeah, they did rip out 3 toes originally when I went in.
So
Years.
in total, 18 murders recorded. Loads of disappearances, but that you don't get that information from the way. And hundreds, if not more, dying of this disease. That yeah, the disease took more than 100 patients and staff.
Damn. And staff.
And staff. Cullen was devised an inoculation, but not before it took root in the densely populated areas, the slums in the East End, and the prison. Substantial losses.
Wait, did you use the word inoculation again?
Inoculation, yeah, I did.
Fucking lying.
So maybe he's getting them sick to
my
test
mistake. My mistake.
He could be getting them sick to test an inoculation on.
Yes.
Wait, so are you saying that retroactively he has got a vaccine?
I think he might be working on a vaccine, but he needs people to be sick first.
He when you asked it, I'm going to say that he said I can arrange for you to have the initial inoculation if that puts you at rest, and he'll have that arranged for you to have that if you want.
Okay.
Could everyone there could have psychology him at that point to see if he was like, oh, good, they want to take the inoculation, I get to poison them.
What, willing guinea pigs?
You can make retroactive psychology rolls if you want.
Well, who's to say he's not putting the disease in the air or the water himself and then going, hey, let me test this out on you.
Yeah, or as Elizabeth said, maybe he's going to inject you with the disease to try and then learn the inoculation from your bodies.
So I'm allowing retroactive psychology roll to get his reaction to you agreeing to get your inoculations.
I got your 3 rolls.
44 is a regular. Yeah, is a regular from me.
Okay, don't forget to tick it.
Yeah.
Or already ticked.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, mine.
Damn.
Failed.
I got a regular success.
Kevin, Neil.
I wasn't there at that point.
Oh, okay.
I have a failure, but I could spend 14 to make it a critical. If it's going to bring me anything that we don't already suspect.
And yes, you were, Neil.
Save that luck.
Okay.
You didn't split away. until you went to the nurse's place, and then
Thanks.
I was going to go blah.
Okay, I'll roll it then. Thanks.
Just that wry smile on your face by those that got regulars.
I got a hard.
You weren't there.
Mark said
Well,
he
I
was.
thought he was for that meeting
DM's
with
decision.
Cullen. I thought we all went
a
there.
hard, again, a wry smile. You also get the impression that he thinks that you guys aren't very intelligent enough for him to waste too much time on.
So it looks like he feels that we're
Now,
beneath him.
if you'd have said that before, I would have come out with a load of medicine language.
You can try that on your next meeting if you want.
So these records are not that great.
No, well, it's something. Names are always good. You can trace a name back to somewhere.
For an animal
If it's
attack, we have an
necessary.
address.
Yeah. Now we've got more.
Who else was doing something?
Slummy boy.
I was seeing McLean.
I'll get to him in a sec. You went to see the other doctor?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I help you?
Dr. Cullen, if we could have a little chat in private, if that'd be all right.
I'm afraid you got me mistaken with the other doctor. My name's McLean. Dr. Cullen will be in his labs.
Sorry, Dr. McLean, you're exactly who I wanted to speak to. You remember you showed us to the morgue last night?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, aye.
Yeah, do you mind if we have just a private chat somewhere?
Make a social skill.
I'll make a persuade one. Don't let me down. 6%, which for my meager...
Aye, sure, I can spare a few minutes.
That's an extreme.
There's already people dying.
Thank you.
He doesn't say that, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much.
I'm
of
sure
your time.
young Jimmy here will be able to withstand a few for a few more minutes. Is that right, young Jimmy? Hi, doctor. It didn't hurt anyway. And there's this guy. He's got like this young kid with like a bruised elbow and dry tears down his cheeks.
Oh. There's a brave young man. So he takes me into a little side office or something.
I came what your friend says, the doctor. It's strange accent. Don't you mind Jimmy. Don't you mind Jimmy. He's a young lad. Anyway, what can I do for you, sir?
So we're in a private area.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you actually about your colleague, Dr. Cullen.
I'll try and answer what I can.
Have you noticed a change in his behaviour recently over the last year or so?
No, he's always been strange.
Ah, strange.
Eccentric. You know what these intellectuals are like.
Well, not all of them now.
Especially in our profession.
Yeah, I can understand people can get quite obsessed with their work. But you say he's always been like that since you arrived. And he always approaches his work in the same way. You see nothing strange in the way that he goes around, other than the fact that he's already a bit strange.
Well, I suppose he's been a bit more intense since the outbreak.
And
he's taken it upon himself to to develop a proper cure so no one else dies.
Do you have any theories of your own as to how it might have started?
Well, it's not exactly my field, but it just started really fast. There was one victim, then another, and
Sure, but there's always a reason why they start. They don't start from nothing.
well, you're probably right about that. But I believe Dr. Cullen thinks it's been transmitted by the air. But it spread really fast, and it likes high density population areas. So where there's more people, it was more likely to strike.
I know what you mean by high density. Oh. All right, thank you.
Medically speaking, with an undiagnosed outbreak, it's really hard to work out without modern technology. It's just it happens. It doesn't happen. You catch it. You don't catch it. It's still.
So, in those interspersed questions about the behaviour of the doctor, can I make a psychology roll on his reactions as to whether he might be hiding something that he doesn't want to let me know? Maybe he has got a suspicion of some sort.
You mean McLean is hiding something?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
holding back.
Okay, make a psychology roll.
Failure. Bollocks. So no. Oh, thank you very much for your time. I'll get back to me compatriots.
Oh, no problem.
Good day. Take care of little Jimmy there. Ta-ra, Jimmy. Ta-ra a bit. No.
Oh, sorry. I was like before you leave, you hear a clash of like a metal object dropping on the floor. Clang, 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 clang.
On the ground.
And a nurse sort of screams, and you sort of like come out of the door, and you got a nurse trying to chasing Jimmy round the bed.
He's
just going, "You feck off! You ain't gonna stick that fucking needle in me." He says with a rather Irish accent.
Bloody hell.
And then
I think I'll leave you to it.
The doctor just shrugs and nods farewell to you.
Okay, I depart. I'll go back to the reception to find the others.
Kevin, whereabouts on the map are you going?
Well, so
the slums are in the east end.
Yeah, I noticed. Well, my first instinct was going to be like the biggest like national park near Glasgow was going to be the northwest, but since I now notice that the east has the slum and the jail is in the east and the Necropolis is in the east, like. There's also like a smaller park near Glasgow that maybe could host some wildlife. Don't know if the wolf was already extinct in England in the 1920s, but we'll know. Like, did England even have wolves
Scotland
at that
did.
point? Really? Okay.
I don't know about that point historically.
They have what?
We had wolves.
So could I like a roll for like natural world or something to like, hey, is this just garbage rumor, like, or like is there in the like campaign actually wolves involved and like
make a natural world roll?
Natural worlds, yeah. Oh, that's an extreme.
I've never really heard of
an
wolves
extreme
in Scotland. Wild boar. but not wolves.
Mm.
England in general.
We had bears and all.
We have bears.
Mainly wolves are in have been seen in the Highland, but they're rare, but they do exist in
Okay.
the Highlands. So for a bit, maybe perhaps further north of Glasgow. It's not impossible, but it's very improbable.
Are there any other like predatory animals here in the except foxes, of course, in like the UK at that point besides wolf then? Like if people are getting mangled and they suspecting, we know that it's something else, but suspecting wild animals, what other animals are even possible at that point?
In an urban environment,
Close to a park.
It could be dogs, mate.
stray dogs.
Okay.
A lot of wolves and hounds, large hounds, can be blamed for stuff when they go, you know, oh, this was a very large dog. There'd be like a massive hound, as in Hound of the Baskervilles sort of hound.
Doing a quick search online just as a context. It's quote: wolves were the last of Britain's top predators to be hunted to extinction. I believe they disappeared sometime in the 18th century, following a century's persecution. But ironically, there is a reintroduction program happening at the moment.
Yeah.
So from the 1700s, they were gone. So there wouldn't be wolves in Scotland now.
There you go.
In 26.
Well, there might
Don't
be the
forget
odd
to
one or
tick that
two.
skill.
Yeah, no, I have it.
Right.
It's like the Loch Ness monster, isn't it? But for wolves. But
That thing's always on holiday or always taking a nap at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, true. Deep lake.
Actually. But okay, well, knowing that there are no actual wild animals that can hurt a human that's prepared for something besides getting gored by a boar.
I mean, we are talking non-mythos creatures. You're thinking
Yes,
about.
yeah. He's going to entertain the rumors and ask around for if anyone has seen like past the Arkwright house for like because that's in the east for wolves or sighting from any other creature like there were rumors about, and like he wants to know if the first he goes to the pub, asks for rooms there, and then if he gets like a location of someone heard it from someone else, he goes there and then knocks on the door and asks.
Okay, whereabouts in the city are you going?
East.
Anywhere? Can you be a bit more specific?
Past the Arkwright house. Walking to the necropolis as I'm in the coming from the infirmary, past the Arkwright house, and then little off the map, basically.
Okay. Make a luck roll.
Can you push luck?
No.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, well, no.
Okay, so failed luck roll. Combine spot, hid, and listen.
I'm gonna push that. You know what? This is fucked up, but okay, yeah. I'm rolling.
So it's a failed. It's a failed push.
Yes.
On a spot, hid, and listen.
Yeah, rolling above 90s today.
Completely oblivious.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're. And how are you traveling?
By foot.
By foot.
It's not that far.
Yeah. Okay, so the weather's pretty miserable.
At least it's not misting.
There's not a lot happening on the streets. The further east you get, past the Arkwright house, the less people you sort of see. But you have a sense that there are people behind doors, but they're just keeping dry. There's the poverty is wretched here.
Damn.
The little district. No, in fact, you failed to push, so you don't even notice that. Eventually, you get lost in the twisty, turny alleyways. looking for a pub or some kind. Welcoming
Not
you,
finding that.
and
Okay.
you find sweet nothing.
Other attack approach. Going to the actual nearest
Until
park.
you get the impression that you are being followed, and you turn over, you glance behind you, and indeed there is a man standing silhouetted against the alleyway that you've just walked down. And then you hear another noise in front of you, and you see another man blocking the other way out of the alleyway.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's gonna get mugged.
We'll have a D10 of credit rating off you, sir. Yeah.
No. What's going to happen is
A roller credit.
Irvin just unshoulders like equips his gun basically.
What gun have you got?
All right, he pulls out his piece. Fuck off.
Cool.
A hand cannon.
No, almost. It's where is it even?
Bearing in mind he'll be saying it with an accent very close to theirs, so they won't take it sort of, you know.
Martini heavy rifle.
You're walking around with a rifle strapped to your back.
Yes.
All this time.
That's why they've come after him. It's like, who are you
That's-
coming here to attack our neighbourhood? You?
If it's that obvious,
Hitman.
then they ain't stupid. So yeah. Okay, so you unstrap your rifle.
Okay.
Jesus.
Now, I'm just here for my own business. No need to get ugly.
Aye. What business? What kind of business is that then?
You see, there's been a piece in the papers. The reciting of wolves or animals here in the slums. Heard anything about it?
You're talking about the Ripper.
No, not the murderer. Like, or it could be the Ripper, but that's for something for the police to search. No, I'm talking about wild animals.
Aye, there's wild animals here for sure.
Yeah, I'm not talking about your brothers.
So you're
No.
hunting, are you?
Yes, you could say that.
You're hunting in our neighborhood without our permission.
Not hunting. Okay.
Now I
Well-
can see I can see that you're a business lad with your rifle and all. But you're gonna have to pay a toll if you want to hunt in this neighborhood. You can.
Fine. He tosses like a fiver on the ground. No need to waste time with the police officer.
Where'd you get this fiver from?
Like my cash. Let's see, possessions. Oh, spending level is like 10 quid. So I drop like a fiver.
What, you pull a fiver out of your wallet?
Like out of my like a breast pocket or something like, and throw it on the ground.
Well, that'll do for me, but what about for me friend?
Well, I can give him a lead bullet if he wants. Unless you're sharing.
Make a social.
I don't do social.
Yeah, the
God
gun,
damn
it's
it.
intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like an intimidator or possibly a fast.
I don't do social. Fuck. Okay. Nah.
Just shoot them then.
Why not? This is going to be. It's going to be enough. Have to be enough.
Fast draw.
You hear that, Willie? He says he's gonna shoot you.
Bang.
Yeah. In real life, yeah.
You failed your intimidation.
Yes, of course. Like, hello.
Oh, this could so easily. If Yusuf was cruel, this would be bye bye, Irvin.
Do it. Do it.
Willie says, I don't particularly want to be shot.
Hmm.
And he then sort of steps to the side and disappears out of view. Fuck twat, says the other one. You threw the £5 on the floor, didn't you?
Yes. So seeing that this is de-escalating, he just walks towards the guy that he's been talking to, and then just passes him.
Leaving him to pick the fiver up.
Yeah.
Let that be a warning to you, Sonny.
You'll be seeing me around. And then keeps seeing that this is an aggravated situation. He's going to go to the woods or the park closest and look at the tracks.
Well, the nearest open space is the necropolis.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Which is a huge, cemetery.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tombs and all.
Beautiful.
If there are wolves, some bones wouldn't go amiss.
Alone at the necropolis.
We can change view for.
You're on the east. You're on the east side of the necropolis. So the only entrances to the cemetery are on the west. The only two entrances to the cemetery on the west side. So to get there, you're gonna have to make a long walk around the necropolis. It's like a walled sort of high stone walls on the south and curving east sides of the necropolis sort of surround it. So
can I just jump the wall?
It'll
See
be-
a handhold.
the walls are high. I'm going to say 20 feet.
Okay, that's pretty high. That's like 2 stories. No, that's not gonna work. Okay. He takes his time and goes around. But no, no wolf would get into the cemetery like that. No, he would go outside of the city at that point.
Who are you asking?
And I'm saying, Irvin would, seeing that the walls were so high, doesn't think that any wildlife would be in the cemetery and would just go to outside of the city. No jumping that.
But if there was a way into what you can see from the necropolis, it's quite wild. There's no one lives there. It's quite empty. Barring the dead.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
if anywhere would be a location for a wild animal to hide out, this would be a good site.
Okay. Then
With your outdoors knowledge, that's probably of all the places in Glasgow, this would be where, if it is an animal, probably not be found.
okay. No, that makes sense, I guess. Then he would start circumventing the whole perimeter and then seeing if there's any other ways to get inside. Is there a bit of dilapidated wall somewhere, or a collapsed part of the wall?
There isn't. The wall is intact throughout the entirety, but it's 37 acres. It's going to take you a while to the whole.
No, that's fine.
On the outside, so
We've got time.
I'll come back to you.
That's what I want.
Let me just have a quick look, which I thought I had separate printed. Can't. Okay, yeah, I'll come back to you. Right, what's everyone else doing? Where's everyone else? Have you all back together, you four?
Looking through piles of paperwork ineffectually, I believe. Or at least some of us are ineffectual.
Yeah.
Kitty,
Yeah,
kitty,
so
kitty.
so by the time Robert finishes talking with Dr. McBride, catches up with you three, sifting through records, and helps with the last half hour of getting the information that you've got. And then Yeah, you're all together.
I make a library roll in case there was anything. Oh, hold on. Didn't you get an extreme, Tiff?
She did.
Okay. No worries then.
There is nothing to see here.
Mm.
You got some addresses that might be useful.
Yeah, we could potentially do a seance at that house where the guy was dragged out the door.
Mm.
Assuming it's a home. If it's not, that's going to be a bit difficult doing it in a public building.
Yeah, we need it to be a house. Or
Yusuf.
a building we can rent.
Yeah.
Or a building.
We can rent
Mm.
for the night.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, Yusuf, can you just quickly remind me which detective constable is taking care of what case? You said one's doing the boat, one's doing the girl. McKeegan and Harris.
Harris does this boat, the sloop, and
Nice.
McKeegan does the murders.
Nice, cheers. And McKeegan's doing the
Murders.
girl, yeah?
Yeah.
Murders.
Oh, just fucking hell.
Murders.
All of
Nice.
them. Right.
Plural.
And we still haven't discovered an itinerary of where this boat has been to yet, have we?
No, as far as you know, the boat hasn't really been touched. They've left it in dock.
Okay. I typed it into handouts. I was suggesting that we next go and see this Mythos woman before anything else, because she might, she's been 10 months into it. She might have something. Doesn't know who to share it with, or
Makes sense.
unless there's something. Go on, Matt.
I say very true. That was all I was going to say. Oh,
Yeah.
we've lost someone.
Oh, it's okay. It's only Neil. He's always disappearing, coming back.
I think I hit the wrong button earlier or something, but
Wow, you can eject people. Click. Click, 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 click.
So the area where the second body was found, dragged through a security door, Govan Road, which is in the southwest area, just east of Clydesdale Shipyards.
Just under the
That's
river.
Govan Road.
Govan. Yeah, Govan. And that
Govan
turns
Road.
into Thistley. Yeah.
And he was found.
We have been streaming for 2 hours.
Yeah. Do you want a break?
I wouldn't say no. I need a drink.
Okie dokie.
It's a good place to have a little break for 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, please. Need to go to the bathroom.
Pop us on to intermission.
Lovely.
Jeez.
Now the night is dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate, fears just of the flesh and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. Madness is my destiny. Galaxies of Now the night is dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade, cloudless my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate fears just of the flesh and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, love infernal, madness is my destiny. Madness is my destiny. Galaxies of Now the night is dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade, cloudless my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny.
Just before you leave the infirmary,
Welcome back.
you hear someone behind you calling. Oh, excuse me, before you go, sirs, madam.
Oh,
Dr. Cullen sends his apologies and about his abruptness, but he's understandably very busy. And if you'd like to come with me, I've managed to prepare some inoculations for you if you wish.
oh, okay, great. I'm on my way.
Have you had this inoculation, dear? Is it a lady or a man?
It's a lady.
Man.
Ah, yes, all the staff have had inoculations.
Oh,
Can I see any gills?
Better safe than sorry.
yeah.
Has she got any
No.
scales on her
No.
skin or anything
No,
like
she
that?
looks perfectly healthy.
She got hair in between her eyes. She got a monobrow. And she got sharp
She
teeth.
looks perfectly normal.
Nails look fine.
Of
No
Irish,
discoloration.
Scottish descent.
Huh.
How long ago did you have your inoculation? Out of interest.
God, when did it break out?
About a month ago.
Yeah.
So give him a week or so to get it done. Right, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to go. Who's with me? I look round. Are you coming?
I sort of moved behind Thaddeus.
Irvin isn't there.
I'm a little confused when they said he didn't have one ready yet.
We had to whitewash
Yeah,
that.
that was my
Oh,
bad.
okay.
If you could edit that from.
All right.
We were hoping that was never going to be mentioned again.
Thanks, Tiff.
Sorry.
So who's going to follow Robert in the inoculation room?
Thaddeus, your thoughts?
Now we've got this idea put in our head about this could be a thing that he maybe is potentially using people as test subjects. I'm kind of wary of going in.
Which is why I asked. She had it herself. Somebody asked whether she'd had it already, and she's had it a couple of weeks. I had a look at her fingernails in a medical way. Do you want me to make a medical roll? And, to think like, does she look healthy and stuff?
Yeah, but she might do. But it's what the guy puts in our syringes that's going to be more of a
Yeah.
concern.
All of a sudden, they're ready. Oh, I know. Ignore that.
No, that's not. Yeah. What? Oh, fuck it.
Jeez.
So just Robert.
Yeah, I think for the minute I'll kind of feign that. Yeah, I'm not too good with needles. I'll have to come back another time to gear myself up for it. I need to drink a whole load more water before I come.
Very, very well. And the doctor said if how would he be able to contact you? Do you have a business card or anything?
Oh, you can contact us either at the leave us a message at the Provost office for the Corporation of Glasgow, or you could leave us a message in any of our names, and I'll write down all of our names on the on a piece of paper for him.
Okay.
At the Waverley Hotel.
Okay.
Wait, what if we don't want our names written down?
They are already on the hit list. I mean, the
Shit.
list.
Yeah, shit.
All right, it's done.
Bollocks.
It's only first names.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. This way, please, sir. Is it just yourself?
Yes, it looks like it is only me. I thought all of us were going to go for it straight away, but it seems that it's just myself. Will you be doing the injection yourself?
Oh, yes. Yes, it'll be me.
Great.
Not scared of needles, I hope.
No, not at all. I've got a little bit of a medical background myself.
Ah, well then this will be a dull for you. She leads you into the inoculation room.
Yeah.
Roll up your sleeve so I can get you the muscle.
Do my left arm.
She pulls out this big fuck off needle, like a horse needle thing.
Hell.
Oops.
There you go, love. There's a big. There you go, love. There's a
Don't worry,
big
Sonny. There'll be
juicy,
a lollipop in it.
big juicy vein there. Oh, I'd love a lollipop.
She stabs you with this needle.
It's just.
It hurts. It's 1 hit point.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Holy shit.
That's all right. I'll heal that overnight.
Yeah.
You hope.
Oh, bloody hell.
You wake up, you haven't healed.
Bloody Jesus Christ. Did it hurt you like this? That's a beauty.
She just smiles. She goes, I get that most of the reactions I get are intense than yours. So well done, young.
Oh, well, yeah.
Bless you. Do you walk on out?
Bloody hell.
Do you walk out the room?
Yeah. She puts the hypodermic into a little bucket. As
So,
well, it may be sore for the next 12 hours or so, but you'll be fine.
So was it one of those in the top of the arm?
Yeah, it's one of them
Right.
like nasty,
Yeah. Okay.
nasty muscular.
Okay. So I'm glad I used me me non-writing arm.
But it doesn't fuck you up
yeah.
Right.
on a hit point. So, well, physically and at the moment, as far as you can tell.
For a
Yeah.
needle probe, that just makes my skin crawl.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm only on 14 hit points.
Oh, damn. When
But-
you come out of that room, I'll say, right, but by the way, Robert, what is your baseline pulse?
Baseline pulse.
Yeah, to Robert.
Me pulse.
Aye, what's the...
I guess
baseline?
me.
I'll write it down, whatever he
what
tells
would you
me.
say?
What do you want to know?
Me
What is-
pulse. It's
Beats-
actually quite good. It's around about 45, 50 beats a minute.
Okay.
I'm quite fit.
Good to know. I'll write it down on a notepad.
He is. He's fit as fuck, this bloke.
Okay, where to now? The whole process of the inoculation took
Took about how long?
15 minutes.
Ugh. You see, bloody hell.
Just
See
walk
the
it
nurse
off.
come
Walk it
come
off.
back to your group. She's leading some. It looks like a man gorilla.
That-
No, and then you realise it's Robert Walker.
It's Robert.
Knuckles dragging on the
I
floor.
said he was really fit, not strong. It's a difference.
It's just the curtains in behind you area.
Don't forget, he's tall and gangly.
Anyway, where are you going?
Well, I was suggesting that we go to the Mitchell Library and try and find Dr. Althea. He's
Uh,
coming with
With
me.
the wide-eyed, crazy stare. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, the one that has to take convalescence every now and again, like our friend Evan.
It's funny that the keeper's map hasn't got the whole of the map on, so I've got to refer to another bloody map.
Okay, Mitchell Library
Oh, it's there.
is
Okay.
directly north of Argyle Street,
Yeah,
which
I
is
see it.
in the middle
No,
of the
I
map.
see it. I see it. Or at the okay. You make your way there. How are you going to get there?
Let's say
How
we'll
did
go,
you get to the infirmary?
or let's say we used either a taxi or we used
Oh,
the underground.
Okay, you were lucky enough to find a taxi to get you to the infirmary.
Okay, and is it easier to get to the library by the underground?
The underground, the subway is the most common and used for transport.
Yeah. So is there one that will drop us near the Mitchell Library? I'll take a look at the station.
Yeah, I suppose so. Oh, my big lighter. everything.
So are the four of us all going to the Mitchell Library?
We are following you, O Lord.
For you going to the library as well, I take it.
Wandering behind, just going immortal.
Just wondering how Thaddeus's little unicorn drink tastes there.
Yeah, it's not bad. Took a little while to melt, but yeah.
The unicorn.
You're
drink.
drinking unicorn blood again,
I blame her.
Yeah.
honestly.
So, Irvin,
Madam.
you do a perimeter of the necropolis when
Yes. Just to see if
And the-
nothing broke.
the walls look
s-
intact. Yes,
Can I
Mark?
just jump in very quickly? I'm going to leave a message at the hotel of where we've gone for Irving in case he calls back and thinks that would be a place where we'd leave a message. I'm going to
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's roughly triangular in bordered by Weishart Street to the west, Fir Park to the east, and there's some derelict land above Duke Street south. These names may already in and the west side of the necropolis, instead of an ornate iron fence, a little bit lower, not as high as the 20-foot, 10 feet.
How wide are the fence poles?
How would a fence?
So, like, instead of being brick and coming up to 20 meters tall, 20 feet tall,
Yeah.
you have like fancy metalwork grate, I
Yeah.
assume. And how wide are the intergapping distances between those two, poles or artwork or ironwork, basically?
You mean can someone fit through the
Yeah,
gaps?
a small boy, maybe a large man. I don't know.
A small man or child would be able to fit through the gap.
Okay.
For a werewolf.
Huh.
But it's open. There's no like closed entrance. I mean, the only way in is archways, which have gates, but the gates are open.
Oh, it's an open cemetery, basically. Okay.
It's not locked up.
Well, I do what I do best, and then starts going off the beaten path, looking for tracks. Going from the west side up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down in like a pattern, so that he covers all the grounds, and looking for like dug up graves which
Gotcha.
weren't done with a shovel or anything like that.
Okay, so it's not going to take you 5 minutes. It's going to take you It's going to take you a while to do that kind of. It's quite a labyrinthine layout. But let's have either a track or a spot hidden.
I can do both. Track then. 8 out of 60 would be an extreme.
Bloody extremes.
Huh.
Okay, you find a set of tracks leading to and from Mausoleum's Iron Gate.
What kind of tracks? Like man boot tracks or like animal tracks? And going to which mausoleum?
This is the McCall Family Mausoleum.
Mausoleum, not museum. Okay,
No,
wait.
mausoleum, yeah.
Okay. And what kind of threats are they?
They're like claw-like.
Okay.
And you know it's the McCall Museum because red sandstone above the black gate, the name Call, MACCOLL.
Okay. When I arrive at the museum, are there multiple tracks leaving it, and are they always leaving in the same direction? But it is raining, so are these prints fresh, and would they have disappeared the next morning, or like were they made this day?
Last night.
Okay, so these are fresh. And is the mausoleum at all covered with something? Like with dirt?
Well, it's like a square sort of stone building, small like room on its own, with a black gate, words, and red sandstone over the gate.
Okay.
You touch the gate and the gate swings open. You notice there's no rust on the hinges, even though but they are quite. It's circular.
Okay. So they are well maintained, or freshly pitched, maybe.
They don't look maintained, just well used.
Okay. From the tracks, can I make out the size of the person with the or it the being that made those claw-like marks? Are like, does it go very deep into the ground?
What did you
Is it
roll?
hefty?
You got an extreme track roll.
Yeah.
A large dog or hound, possibly a wolf size. It's a large or hound, I
Okay.
reckon.
So not like 150 pounds, but more on the rounds, like around the range of like 100 pounds. It's not like an adult male, but more a wolf. Okay.
Yeah. And beyond what limited daylight there is because of the weather, you can see the shadows are too high in a circular room.
Okay.
And it looks like there's stairs leading down at the back.
Okay. Thinking better of it, he backs off, leaves the gate as it was, and goes follows the tracks out of the mausoleum for where it was headed. Are the tracks going in the mausoleum or only out at the moment?
The tracks go to and from.
Okay, so whatever made them is still inside. Okay.
But eventually the tracks are ruined by the weather, and they sort of seem to go in one direction and then they fade away.
Which direction is that?
Make a navigation roll, because you're looking around and you think this place is a maze.
It isn't dark though, and you've still got the sunshine, haven't you? Oh no, it's drizzle.
It's overcast.
I got a regular.
Yeah, you've got you know where your northwest east is,
Mhm.
south, but you don't know where south is. And these tracks head sort of towards the center of the area, the Acropolis.
Okay, to the center of the area. Okay. I walk in that direction and then, see what's in the center of the necropolis.
Okay. That taking you till just past lunchtime. You discover right fucking page. Must invest in some bookmarks. Acropolis. One of the most prominent tombs belongs to a Protestant reformer, John Knox. It's a good reference point because it stands 58 feet tall, high. And there's a small river or burn that runs underneath that used to run underneath the bridge of size, which links the necropolis to the cathedral west side. It's called the Bridge of Sighs. It's quite famous.
Okay.
And there's traces of like an old river. It's sort of dried out beneath the bridge, but so the bridge doesn't actually go over water.
But it leads to outside of the necropolis, or does it lead to like a storage drain, or like the riolering? Yeah, what's that in English?
No, it's so the bridge links the necropolis to the cathedral, and the river used to go up and down the side, so it doesn't go into the necropolis. It never went into the Acropolis. It sort of, you imagine it's like one of the bridges is the entrance. It's like a moat. Serves more like a moat or like a border to the necropolis rather than going in. But it's dried up, so
Okay.
it just has rain.
The plot thickens. Not wanting to find out what made those tracks just yet. Irvin thinks with these clues, he should probably get some backup before investigating any further on this.
Okay, you get back to the others after lunch then.
Okay.
Exploring the necropolis. And you find a note at the house saying that that colleagues are going to.
Okay.
That's the place you want to go to.
Yep. That's
so
fine.
You'll end up joining them eventually. So you go to the Mitchell Library. You get to the Mitchell Library, you have a little dry spell as you take the subway, which is packed full of people going to and from quite busy. It's used, and kind of understand why weather, because everyone's traveling that needs to travel is traveling way. You get to the Mitchell Library. It is Europe's largest public library in the 1920s.
Okay.
And you get to the Mitchell Library. There's a librarian desk. She looks up and greets you with a smile.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mitchell Library.
Well, that's very gracious of you. Thank you very much.
She sounds Welsh, this one.
We happen to be looking for a particular person. If you might be able to direct us to them, that would be most.
Oh, a person, not a book.
That's right, a person, not a book. We're looking for Dr. Althea Montrose, if you would be so kind.
Oh yes, she's here. I can fetch her.
You don't have to trouble yourself. We can find her if you just point us in the right direction.
She'll probably be in her office.
Okie dokie.
She
gives
point-
us.
Direction.
Okay. Go on.
Don't go into the room with the black dog. That's where we keep her. She doesn't say that.
Stay on the roads. Stay off the moors.
Yeah, this building's quite huge. It's huge. Huge library.
And we get to the door.
And you get there. There's a nameplate on Dr. Montrose, head librarian.
Could you not hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh.
Knocking.
Yeah. I'm trying to smack me me mic with some.
After a moment, you hear enter.
Great.
And, go on.
I poke my head round the door. Good afternoon, Dr. Montrose.
The first thing that you notice is, although in her early 40s, woman is very
Smoking.
attractive. She excuse me.
Sorry, I didn't catch those last couple of syllables. She
one
is
hot mama.
One hot mama. Thank you for clarifying that.
What's her appearance?
Yeah.
90.
85.
Oh.
Yeah.
I look jealous.
So I go,
she looks up, smiles.
Dr. Montrose.
Looks over her very sexy.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Raises an eyebrow.
My name's Dr. Robert Walker.
Don't be skulking behind the door. Come in.
I opened the door wide and myself and my three companions wondered if we could ask you a few questions. They are quite pertinent questions regarding the happenings that have been going on in Glasgow over the 10 months.
I see. Well, come in. Shut the door. I hate.
Great. Thank you very much. I'll go and shut the door behind us.
When no one's looking, I just lightly slap Thaddeus upside the back of the head. Stop it.
Last one. Was he picking his nose again? What's he doing?
She's of average height. She has long jet black hair, bright green eyes, full red lips, and a devilish look about her. She's impeccably dressed in tailored suit that accentuates slim and curvy figure. And she looks at you expectant.
I understand.
I'm
that
afraid I
you-
don't have any enough chairs for everyone, but please make yourself as comfortable as you can.
I'll make sure that Elizabeth is sitting.
I'll make sure Thaddeus sits down first, and then I'll just sit on his leg.
Right. I don't mind. How many chairs are there?
2.
I'm apparently a human pillow.
One,
Mhm.
two there.
My
Um,
pillow.
That'd be fun.
I'm going to guess that Merlin's going to be the stander of this lot because you're an ex-cop, so you're going to not want to go relax.
I'm used to standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get into the chair next to her and kind of do that intimate move that you do with a chair when you want to talk secret. Do you know what I mean? You do that little shink.
Okay.
We
She observes
understand.
silently.
We understand that Yao are going to be the person to speak to with regards to the strange stuff that may go on in our world.
Her eyebrow arches, and she says, "Perhaps."
I don't want to beat about the bush in any kind of silly way with those kind of games and get right to it. I take it you are fully aware of all the strange going-ons in the last 10 months. And so I was kind of wondering whether you'd done any research in any of the strange occurrences.
Social skill
Please.
Persuade.
to be using.
Charm.
I wish it was charm at this moment in time, but I'm going to have to stick with good old persuade.
Who is the charmer?
I don't think anyone
I
here
think
has charm.
Merlin's persuade, isn't it?
More or
Yeah.
less.
Or intimidate.
I've
I
got
bet you've
base
got an.
charm.
Face.
Right.
How low can you go?
Oh, come on, babies. Oh,
What's
fucking
Elizabeth's charm?
5%. 5%. Sorry to override what you were saying there. I felt that 5% had to
What's
come out.
Tiff's charm?
My persuade?
Charm. What's your charm?
40.
I'm not asking you to roll it. I'm just so you're
Oh.
charming.
Yeah,
Not as good as
nonetheless,
I am persuasive.
An excellent, if not extreme, persuade roll.
That was indeed an extreme, which I shall now take.
All right, so
Excellent.
carry on with what you were saying.
Right, hold on. Let me get me eyes locked in. It
So get the
was
mechanics out of the way.
my persuade. Oh, it's already ticked. God damn it. Yes, I was wondering whether you'd actually done any research yourself into the strange happenings that's been going on recently, and whether you think it might be something from the other realms. Not to put too fine a point on it.
Oh well, unfortunately, I haven't been really privy to what's been going on just recently.
In what way?
A few days, a few away. So I'm only just recently.
Sorry, I kind of missed why.
She didn't say why.
I actually missed what you said, mate. You dropped out for me. I did not hear
Yeah,
your
me too.
words,
You kept dropping out.
and these are important.
I'm afraid I haven't been privy to what's been going on in the city. I've only just recently returned to Glasgow. A few days ago. A few weeks away.
Oh my goodness! A few weeks away. Have you been? I mean,
I've been away for
I didn't hear how many weeks, but it doesn't
a
sound
few
like
weeks.
right. So you've not been away for 10 months.
No.
So are you aware of the outbreak of the disease in the hospital? The 18 people that are dead or missing, the strange ways that they've been murdered.
The outbreak wasn't 10 months ago.
No, but that was
But the
within the
outbreak
last
was
4
recent.
weeks, and
Yeah.
she's been away, what, 2 weeks? So,
Well,
also,
yes, I've heard of the tragedy in the East End, but and the murders. Well, it is Glasgow. Nothing
Well,
that I found interesting. Is there what are you alluding to, sir?
well, we are under the impression that the murders are of a most unholy nature and not your normal cloak and dagger gangs and underworld crime. People have been savagely rendered apart. The butcherings have included decapitations, dismemberment, organs going missing.
So I take it that you believe something mysterious is happening.
We actually do. It's the reason why we were called in. Our particular foundation got wind of what was going up in Scotland, and we were asked to come and investigate it. Of course, those investigations in our field cover a broad spectrum of things, going from the hospital records, what's going on with the police, what's happening on the streets, and of course, coming to a place of what we would consider almost as worship, the library.
Well, Mr. Walker, she leans back. How can I help?
I guess what intrigues.
What is it you require of me?
Well, I guess what intrigues us most is probably what are the kind of strange myths and legends that you have in the area of Glasgow? Kind of mystic happenings are you aware of? I mean, for the moment, ignoring Saint Mungo, which is quite a common knowledge that he weeps his tears and has done for the past 800 years. But is there anything else that you might know of? Maybe.
Well, Scotland is steeped in myth.
Of course.
Myth and magic. So one can pick up a nursery book and discover the strange and the mysterious, if you know where to look.
And I know that you're a lady that knows where to look.
You're gonna need to be a little bit more specific if you want me to.
Specific, right?
Specific.
Animals that can render people apart, creatures that might rend people apart. Are there any creatures that can be controlled to do somebody's bidding? Because I have to mention the awful case of poor little Lucy, this young girl that was found. We examined the body and we discovered that the poor girl had a very sharp knife plunged into her abdomen around the navel area and sliced somewhat. But then something else has come in and ripped the flesh apart all around the body, so that only the spine is holding the body itself together. And this poor young girl, she was pregnant. This happened just 2 or 3 days ago.
There is a genuine look of like shock when you say that, darling.
I know this is the kind of thing that we're facing.
Well,
It's extremely gruesome.
there's a countless number of creatures that could possibly do that, both real and imagined. And Glasgow can be quite a violent
Place to walk around.
I can't really answer your question. You need to be more specific, young man.
Can anybody help me be more specific as I look around my compatriots?
I mean, you could search through the books and pull up dozens, if not hundreds, that fill all that criteria that you previously mentioned.
Right.
It could take days, weeks to find the.
Rather than the fairy tale
That's
stuff.
all you're going. That's if that's all you're going on.
Well, rather than the fairy tale stuff, do you happen to have anything a little bit more deep regarding the mythos of the town, rather than myths and legends, if you know what I mean?
You made an extreme.
I
persuade
made
roll.
an extreme persuade roll, baby. As I smile, my best smile.
If you're unable to or unwilling to give me the specifics, I suppose I could let you
I mean, I'd also like.
have a look at the. I have a few texts that may or may not help you.
I mean, this would be an incredible help to us. Could you help me try to understand what kind of specifics that you might be after as an example? Because I don't want to I don't want to be elusive or cryptic in what I'm talking about, if you know what I mean. Apparently, they're all quite random, the deaths, all walks of life. And I mean, there's nothing almost to hone in on, apart from the fact that all of them were gruesome in some way and all different. It's extremely generalized,
But
I
I
guess.
think you've answered your question with the. I think you've answered your question by saying it's random. It's it's like asking someone in the wilderness the rabbit what perils await the rabbit. There's the fox, man, an eagle, an owl. There's countless ways that rabbit can die in a brutal way.
What about if you throw into the equation that there's a pestilence as well?
I suppose that could narrow it down.
And also a ship arrived in port on the same night as poor young Lucy was killed, and it was discovered to have had 50 corpses in its hold. But it was a ship that should only have around about 6 sailors on it at the most.
Okay, that's information that you don't know for sure is a fact.
We've heard it from several.
I know, but you haven't actually seen, so you don't know how big it is.
The sloop.
You're just assuming that a sloop is a small boat.
I shall tell her that it was a sloop, and as far as I know, it shouldn't have that many people in it.
Right.
50 corpses.
But that does sound mysterious indeed. Have you been there? Have you seen it?
We only arrived yesterday, and we've
Well-
only been able to do limited things so far.
Don't you think, young man, that it might be, and I don't mean this in a patronizing way, but
No, no.
maybe if you went to the site and had a look for yourself with your own eyes while speculate on what the papers say,
Well, your
and
thing
then
is,
bring back something that you could possibly research or have an idea of, because otherwise I wouldn't consider it very healthy to spend long periods of time in my private library.
I'll bring you back to the reason why we came here in the first place is because we thought that a personage of yourself might have already made some kind of digs in the research regarding. But if you've been away in the last couple of weeks, I guess, you know, I was wrong in the assumption. And of course, we are planning on going to try and see the ship itself.
Well, I am, after all, a librarian. Traipse around the city for trouble.
No, indeed, but yes, of course.
But if I can be of any help, you're welcome to ask.
Well, you referred that we might be able to look at a particular book.
Yes, I think you'll be able to. I'll be able to. I think it's relatively safe to allow you into my private collection. I think you.
I've read a few books
just-
myself.
Yes. Make a psychology roll.
Oh my god! That's 1%. Fucking hell!
A 1%.
Yeah,
Was
what
it
was it in
critical?
psychology? Yeah, critical. What's that?
Wow.
Any mention of getting her out onto the streets definitely she definitely comes across as very, only you noticed as because her poker face is pretty good, but there was a slight hint of fear.
Right.
Her outside. No.
Outside. Right. Okay.
But she's not. She's not telling you everything. You have an impression that there's information that she's holding back about where she's been.
Did everyone get to make that psychology roll? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, did
everyone that's in the room
got what?
the psychology roll?
Yeah, I figure we're all in the room, right?
Yeah, I think you are.
It doesn't seem like it, but
I'm trying to keep Thaddeus's eyes on me and not her at the moment.
True, yeah. We've noticed that.
How is your libido, Thaddeus?
At the minute, non-existent.
Do a horny roll.
56 is a regular psychology from me.
Yeah, you don't really get any more information than what's already given out. An extreme.
But we all feel that she's holding something back.
Oh, I thought that was only.
I thought that was the going outside business.
The going outside. No, the holding something back is the critical. Yeah, you get that impression as well, Merlin. But Thaddeus just thinks that she's scared to go out.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's Glasgow.
Yeah. This ain't surprising, yeah.
Don't want to get mugged.
True.
You both get the impression, Merlin and Robert both get the impression that she's had a fair share of
encounters.
Yeah, she's definitely a believer
with the mythos. I mean, I was also wondering with that 1%, would I be able to see what her sanity levels around?
She's saying,
Yeah.
make a psychoanalysis roll.
Psychoanalysis.
Yeah.
Oh,
skill that
bugger.
most people have at 1%. Yeah.
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 Unless you're
True.
Tulip.
Unless you're Tulip Jones. 89.
Actually, do that. Yeah, no, make a psychoanalysis.
Oh, okay. Here we go. 1%. What's the
Yeah.
odds of 1% again?
You can make a medicine rolls as well.
Okay.
If you wish to, any of you four.
Yes, I'd like to make a medicine roll. But this is going to
But
be
it's one
that.
or the other.
Oh, is it? Oh, medicine roll then for me, sir.
Okay.
I can try medicine. I've got one in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Give it a go.
17. Which is easily, definitely a hard. But is it a... It's a hard.
Okay.
I have 1% and I rolled 7. Is it worth spending 6 points of luck?
Mm.
No, because I think Mark's got it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
With
had
the
to-
medicine as well.
I would have had to have spent 9 for the medicine roll, but no.
Um,
What did they get then?
you get the impression that she's recently restored a bit of mental health, and she's just fresh back from.
At the end of a convalesce.
Yes.
Fight board.
Yeah. More or less.
Right. Okay. So she was talking about a book, wasn't she, just now? And where
Or a private library.
a private library, yeah. I take
suppose
it
if
she
I'll
takes
say-
us there. Go
I'll
on,
say
sorry.
to her, I suppose if the need arises, we could always come back and look. We don't have any leads here, do we?
Well, yes. I'd rather you something specific you were looking for rather than just be left alone perusing all manner of books and knowledge that
Do you know what?
you might not necessarily need.
Indeed.
I tell you what, I remember you mentioned that you can actually look up and get some children's books that can give you a good idea of the kind of mythos that you've got here. I mean, if you say if we want to have a look at what there is around, unless that's what you'd say to people.
That'll be in the general area of
that's
the library.
what you'd say to people that weren't in the right now. Now let's take a look at your library, see what we might be able to have a look in. Something might catch our eye.
What now? Without knowing specifically on what you're looking. I wouldn't recommend looking through my library unless you have something specific you're looking.
Now, maybe you're right. I think it was the case that it was kind of relying on the fact that you might already have an idea of what's going on.
She looks at you sort of a bit more deeply. Now, she just explained that. Was your character distracted by something?
Might have been.
Her say that before, or was it you in general? Because she's looking at you sort of to work out.
No, it's okay.
Whether it was your character. It wasn't your character, because you could have said, "Oh yeah, I was distracted by a book on a desk or something."
Mark.
No, I'm sorry. That was. You're quite right. We should definitely have a better idea of what we're looking for before we go delving into your private collection of books.
Yeah.
But no, we are ever at your service as well. If there's anything that we can do for you on the outside world, I'd be happy to.
Oh well, many thanks for the offer.
You can contact any of us at this number, which I believe is this is the Waverley Hotel.
Very well.
And leave it under the name of Robert or Thaddeus or Merle.
Don't give my name, thank you.
Under the name of Robert Walker.
Yeah,
be careful out there, and know where to find me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Montrose.
She gets up and opens the door for you.
Oh, I watch her in all her glory as she walks across to open that door. It's most kind of you, thank you.
Does she notice? Yeah.
Thaddeus,
doesn't.
stop staring.
I have a degree of self-preservation. Damn it!
She
It's
doesn't.
right there in the under your power roll.
She doesn't see you. She doesn't spot you checking her out.
Thank the Lord. But I was very persuasive.
She's not Merlin's type, I presume.
Well, I'm not here for that.
Not your type. She's not a criminal. Not interested.
I want your mythos books, love.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Okay. Yeah. And
Okay.
Follow Robert out the
she
room.
gives you a nice, delicate handshake as you leave.
Lovely.
I return firm, but not hard. Oh yeah, baby. Stop it, Neil. Turning it into filth. I'm very sorry, people.
Yeah, carry on,
Viewers at
Cthulhu.
home. Yeah. And our footsteps echo down the hallways as we exit.
Okay. No one's looking at a book at all.
No,
Well, she said we weren't supposed to. So
yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
her
that-
books, but it's a huge library. Anyway, it's all right.
Where's the kids section? Is it quite close?
Yeah, why not?
And have a look for beasties or monsters. Scottish myth beasties.
Make a library use roll.
Yeah,
As Robert gets distracted by
might as
pretty
well.
pictures.
Oh, look at that. That looks like a nice book.
Or anyone else that to look for something, tell me what you're looking for specifically.
Sorry, it's cocked.
Make use of the library.
Do we want to look for ley lines, Thaddeus?
I'm going
I
to
don't
spend
think
1
you-
point to make that a regular. Sorry, Matt.
I don't think geomancy's got anything to do with this.
You can
Yeah.
you find a number of nursery rhyme books. You know,
I want to
the
know where all the
Brothers Grimm.
spiritual spots are.
No, I'm looking for the
Thaddeus.
stuff that's local to Scotland. I ain't looking at fucking, world monsters.
Yeah,
She says the sort of things that kids around here grow up with.
there's general Scottish tales, but nothing remarkable.
Are there any trolls, underground thingies, under bridges, or anything like that?
Yeah, there's lots of references to that. There's it's the usual fairy tale mythological stuff that you can get from a regular library. Your roll wasn't high enough to get anything particular, unless you want to spend the luck to make an extreme.
Toss.
Not Thaddeus. I was thinking of places in the city where
Push your library use
occultists
roll.
might
Sorry.
gather.
Oh, knock yourself out.
Is that library use?
Sorry, you're looking for what? Where cultists might gather.
Yeah, like ley lines, spiritual places of interest, somewhere that groups in the past may have done magical rites. Any books like that
For
might pop up.
Glasgow in particular.
Yeah, and I got an extreme success on that. I rolled a 7.
Nice.
So things like, does the necropolis hang out on a ley line? Is the medical area we've been to lay on places we've been? Are they significant? Or this doctor might be messing around with something.
Any history of paranormal activity in those areas?
Yeah, the spiritualist side, what I might be interested in.
Legend has it that ghouls rise from the necropolis.
Make a library use roll then.
I did. I got an extreme on that.
Oh, you got an extreme. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm going into detail.
Okay.
Because if that medical center lays on top of a ley line, or the necropolis does, we can keep an eye on those locations.
Okay, with an extreme. There's nothing really on ley lines, but you do pick up
Penguin.
it's quite recent.
Because surely there must be other spiritualists around, or books that have been put in here, or notes in the archive. Deep dive, Thaddeus. Deep dive.
This isn't special library. Special library, so I'll be careful.
Whatever I
Um,
dig
Careful
out
what you
of
give
it.
us.
Yeah.
Well, she did say there was a special section, didn't she?
yeah,
Yeah,
her private library.
Yeah.
Ah.
Her own, yeah.
That she doesn't want us to look at yet until we've got something specific to tell her
Boo.
or
Will there be
look
a
for.
message board at this library, like a bulletin board or notice board, like communal one?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I'm trying to claw anything I can out of this library.
And here, guys, I don't know whether you noticed it or not, but I'd say that she just got back from some convalescence.
Right.
That she's definitely afraid of Glasgow at the moment, or she doesn't like going outside.
Mm. Yeah.
So you
interesting,
get
yeah.
a bit of recent sort of like a pamphlet find referring to the University of Glasgow. Whereas quite recently, as the 18th of November in 19, the upper floor of the theology bathed in unearthly light and awash in strange sounds for a period of roughly 90.
Missing so many syllables, but
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Since
And,
what date? Since
on the
1890?
18th of November.
Your sound keeps cutting out every so often, and it's usually on a date. So it's like we hear 8, and that's it.
Sorry, I don't know
I
what's
got
wrong.
18th out of it,
Yeah.
but I don't know how long the sounds
18th of
lasted.
November 19. So
You did it
about
again.
6.
19 what?
Like, what, dude?
18th of November 1919.
Right, that was the first time we heard 1919.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
So 6 years ago,
yep. 7 years ago, because it's 26 now,
7 years
isn't it?
ago, yeah.
Wow.
And
That
5
is-
professors were found to be missing from their rooms
Wow.
when that happened.
At the university.
What catches your eye is, there's a lot of paranormal rumors and theories about what's happened, but no one's really given a proper explanation.
You said it was bathed in an unearthly light on a particular part of the university.
Theology department.
For how long did that happen for? Bathing of light. Was it?
Bathing in the light and strange sounds for 90 seconds,
Oh, okay, okay.
and
Second.
afterwards 5 professors were found to be.
That sounds definitely like something up our alley.
Yeah. No.
Isn't it?
And the blame was placed on one of the missing professors called Dr. Alfonso Don Rijos.
Somebody
He
write
doesn't
that
sound
down.
local.
Alfonso
No.
Don Rios, who was a new lecturer, freshly arrived,
From where?
Spain,
Ah,
and he's one of the 5 that went missing.
oh, and he's one of the missing as well.
Yeah, but they reckon he was up to
They-
some
Right.
weird shit.
Indeed.
But apart from that, in this particular part of the library,
Nada.
And that's the most recent thing that Elizabeth just found.
most recent.
sort of supernatural activity, or or just that
Well,
that's what happened then?
that's the only bit of supernatural activity she finds in this part of the library, referring to what, or as close to what she's looking for.
Well, I was also looking for
And that's the
places that
universe.
maybe old witches used to gather that thought had power.
Well, the necropolis is full. It's
Mm.
probably the most likely to have strangeness happening. The amount of dead there, and it could range from witches meeting in at midnight to grave robbers.
So everything that I read really points back to Necropolis from the very start since we got here.
There's lots of stories about ghosts and things like that just because of the nature of the place, it sort of is a magnet for that sort of mystery.
You may have already answered this, but the murders, have they taken place kind of all over the city of
All over the
Glasgow?
city.
Without rhyme or pattern. Yeah.
So you-
Make Cthulhu mythos.
Okay, I have a little bit.
I have a little.
And at this stage, are you going to meet them at the library, Erwin? You're muted.
I'll be underway. It would be past lunchtime at that point. Me arriving, and I don't know how late they stayed in the hospital or the infirmary. So that's up to you.
Well, we did a couple of hours at the library, at the hospital, and with the research that Elizabeth has just done, that's probably taken another good hour.
I was going to say, by the time you guys finish at the Mitchell Library, is the time that Erwin arrives.
Who did you say to make a mythos roll to? Because I did roll.
Oh,
everyone.
I got a hard success on that.
Oh, good
on Cthulhu mythos.
I rolled a 5, yeah. And my
I
hard
can
success
spend
is
6 points to make it a regular success.
Mine's a fail. That's easily failed on 10%.
Well, unless you're keeping your revelation secret, Elizabeth, then you won't need to spend any luck, Matt, Thaddeus.
I share everything with Thaddeus, so whatever I'm suddenly thinking about, I tell Thaddeus.
Then he doesn't need to spend the regular. No, hard.
Hard success, yeah.
Hard.
5. I like these dice.
Yeah.
They're better than mine, put it that way.
I've never used them before.
With what you know of things that... Oh, are you a believer? You must be.
Yeah, I've got 12 mythos.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. With what you know of graveyards and they attract a particular type of a breed of creature, ghoul.
Cult the ghoul, I've called it.
That
could easily just...
That they do have like a dog-like appearance.
Oh, Thaddeus.
And they are drawn to graveyards and cemeteries. They like feeding off of bodies, dead bodies.
Oh, Thaddeus.
To exist.
Do you think a ghoul is eating these bodies?
Eating?
Like if they're kind of like dog-like, right? They rip apart bodies to eat them, don't they?
Would I know about them?
What?
If I explain to him what a ghoul is.
If you spend that luck or on that Cthulhu roll, you might.
Cthulhu roll.
You know what? Go on.
But it doesn't get you better than a hard.
No, but it means I can at least say something. So 1, 2, 3, 6 puts me down to 69. Boom,
Dude.
Right.
Well, with
Right.
your combined knowledge, yeah, ghouls like feeding off of the dead.
That's what I was about to say. Don't they have to be dead first?
Generally, yes. It's very rare that a ghoul has been known to attack a living.
Okay, so someone could be killing these
Human.
people, and the ghoul comes along and just eats part of them.
Or I don't suppose they could be averse to making a living thing dead and then eating them later.
So how long exactly does it have to be dead for
Yeah, because
before a
the girl
ghoul
was
might
dead.
eat it?
The girl was dead before she was chewed into, right?
She was rendered apart, like with something that's gone like that
I
all
suppose
around her body.
you could almost equate it to how well done would you like your steak, sir? Would you like it medium rare, blue, or it's
Yeah,
down
but-
to the personal taste?
Are these-
The girl was killed with a knife first.
I don't know
Right,
much
so-
about
so-
ghouls, but
We need to go to this necropolis and see if we can find any evidence of any sort of beast-like creatures in it, or somewhere mausoleums, places. We need to look.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
Ghoul is funny because I do know there's a book at the Sleepmore Library called The Cult the Ghoul. I was going to have a look over it, but it's in French, and I don't speak French.
Does anybody speak French?
I know
Thankfully,
some,
no.
I know some
Yeah.
Latin.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
That is not the book you want to read. Just
Well,
saying.
Wow. Damn.
we poured
No, I
over
wanna-
that book, I believe.
Yeah, now I want to read it.
No, you really don't.
Wasn't Tulip and Devon nose into that book?
We might have skimmed it.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Sure, we got some spells.
Your hards mythos roll. They have been known to collaborate with humans. Humans
Yeah.
have been known to collaborate with ghouls.
I mean, would humans offer them? Perhaps give
Anything
them
that-
offerings?
Or make things dead for them and then give them to the ghouls.
Bit like
That
those,
artist, what was that artist ghoul
But-
that
Like-
Tulip
bit
spoke
like a
about?
cult.
But
but-
ghouls have got, date back. The mythos of ghouls dates back to Roman times.
Do you think that creepy doctor's killing people with the virus to feed his ghoul?
There's easier ways of killing people, quicker ways of doing it. That seems very convoluted.
Just throwing it out
Was
there.
it Was it
One hungry
Pickford?
ghoul.
Was it Mr. Pickford or something like that?
Pickman.
Pickman.
Pickman, yeah.
Not that I've been to Massachusetts or hung around the Providence Art Club to hear about his very horrible sketches and drawing.
We've had
Oh,
an
well-
art class from
well-
him.
Well, Devon and Tulip told us one night over dinner that they met a strange creature that was a ghoulish creature that was into his art.
Oh yeah, you've played Pickman's student, haven't you? I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
That sounded very strange indeed. That they were kind of getting help from him.
Hanging out
He
in the
was-
sewers, taking art lessons. Yeah.
Yeah. Such fun.
So I think we should take a trip out to the necropolis.
With some heavy artillery. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
personal protection.
on that note, Erwin turns up, mud on his boots, like he's been traipsing the graveyard.
Ooh.
Is that
It's a
dead man
fancy
mud on
place.
your feet?
You overhear mention something about
About what?
the necropolis.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, are they still in the library, or do I need to take my boots
No.
off?
No, you walk into the library. You don't need to take your boots
Like I like
like you
Let's
would.
go.
like rub my boots on the carpet and then walk further into the building.
There's probably
Oh,
there's probably a device outside, like an iron boot scraper that
Mm.
didn't notice
serves the
that.
purpose. But yeah.
Anyway, talk about necropolises. I mean,
We were.
how many? He looks around, sees that there are maybe a lot of people or not a lot of people. I have something to tell. some clues that I uncovered. While I almost got mugged in the slums, I did get
Bloody hell.
mugged, and factually. Have to let a fiver on the ground, but
Bloody hell, mate. That's expensive.
yeah, I know.
I told you you get mugged out there.
Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Oh,
They were
please,
afraid of the gun.
Get to the
Uh,
point. I haven't.
Yeah. So
Go on.
there were no the mugs. The thugs clearly didn't hear anything from about any hounds. They were talking like, "Oh, you're talking about the Ripper, like the killer." Like these things were like interlinked with each other. There were no sightings of any animals, clearly, or from or at least the bruisers slash thugs didn't think anything of it. So I checked out the necropolis as the first place that had any kind of vegetation in this city, and I did find tracks of maybe an animal with claws of around 100 pounds, not like a full-grown man-sized weight, but something like a great hound could probably pull off, or something that has lost a ton of flesh. Hint, hint. I tracked all the way to Mausoleum, but there was rain, so I could only get the freshest tracks. It came and went from to the riverbank that's now dried up, which surrounds the cathedral like a moat.
Only on
there
one
was-
edge. Only on one
Okay,
one
on one
side.
edge, only on one edge of the the river.
triangular.
Okay. On the west side, and there's like a staircase going further into the mausoleum, but I didn't want to risk it without backup.
I just to get
Yeah.
Thaddeus like told you.
Told me what?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go and see that woman now. Maybe she knows a thing or two about ghouls.
Hey, have you been spelunking in the graveyard recently, and that's why you had to go to your insane asylum?
Indeed, maybe she's communicating with them.
On that note, her door to her office is like on a mezzanine. Opens up, makes spot hidden rolls.
Her ears were burning.
Yeah. Or something was.
No, this is for
Failure.
failure.
Hard.
Okay, no. It's all right. It's ticked.
I think that's a fail for me as
It's got to
well.
be ticked for ages.
I
So
think I
Merlin's the only.
can. Just Merlin got it.
Merlin got it.
Okay.
Merlin's the
Alright.
only one that sees the credits burst out of her office. And she opens, to be continued.
Yeah. Cool.
Dear.
Yeah.
I'm looking over there, looking at the
You
pretty
what?
books. Oh, pretty book.
Too busy yapping to someone.
Look at the pretty
basically.
books. Look at that.
Timed perfectly for an 11 o'clock film.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching,
Bye.
folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Our fantastic fans.
Sophie
Bye.
says bye bye too.
Yeah.
Leave a comment. Let
Sophs.
us know if you're watching.
Yeah.
Bye bye, kitty kitty.
So, yes.
Now the night is done, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate fears just of the flesh, and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal,